How about me going 1-3 with my twin 250s or 150s or whatever the hell they are?
Why'd you go Logano?
I went like you saw, yeah. When we did the text, I went Logano and God, what's his ass?
Did you go Chase?
No, I went for I got first and third. I went. That's why I said is he racing both? Because when John went, who do you got? I went Logano and Larson.
Did you watch any Pebble yesterday?
No, I didn't realize it was on so early, to be honest with you. I turned it on at about 6:45, figuring I could watch for a couple hours, and there was 15 minutes of coverage left. I'm like, well, this sucks.
Wait, what'd you put on the Golf Channel?
Yeah.
Can you get ESPN Plus there?
Yeah. I've got all my apps.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floormeister Studios. Floormeisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Top of the morning to you on this Friday the 13th. How many of you believe in that sort of thing? How the heck are you, Miller and Moulton? MillerandMoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. It's our last day this week with Raj back in the cozy confines of our Southwest Florida studios, where apparently it's going to hit 80 today. All right, there you go. 70s in the rest of the state. Mark at Moffett in Tampa. I'm in the First Coast, Northeast corner in Jacksonville. Top of the morning to you, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. This 80 that you speak of, what is that you're referring to? Is that something that happens outside of walls?
Yes, I understand you. You're like the boy in the plastic bubble. Okay,
Day 11 in confignment.
Right, to have our first old reference of the show. All right, you're Travolta back in the day in the after school movie of the week. But yeah, how you holding up?
I feel great. Health wise, everything's going really well.
Awesome.
Boredom is setting in
to the nth degree,
and the whole going outside thing sounds so delightful.
Especially since the weather's starting to break.
Right. But a buddy came and visited yesterday. That was nice. We spent about 3.5, 4 hours together, just talking and catching up and that kind of stuff, which was great. But it's so I've mentioned this before. They want me to walk every day, and I do. I walk a mile every day, and it is so bad because it's a U shape, and you just go back and forth, and you need to do it 11 times. And David, I had to bring the whole IV thing with me yesterday. So usually I bring the phone and I set the stopwatch, and I only do it for when I make my turn to hit the lap button. Because believe it or not, yes, it sounds stupid, and maybe it's chemo brain, maybe it's my stupid brain from too much weed. I don't know what the reasons are, but at some point, I have no idea what lap I'm on.
Right.
Because it's the same walls, there's no one there really.
Right.
And yesterday, because I had the IV thing that I'm bringing with me, I didn't bring the phone. I wanted a free hand.
Right.
And I'm like, am I on lap 6 or am I on lap 7? I have no flipping idea.
Do you talk to the nurses while you walk. Remember, are you like my former coworker who every time he saw me in the hallway during the course of the day would say hi? Okay.
David, I think there's one thing about this place you would enjoy is that the nurses, while they are wonderful, they really are. When I'm in the hallway and they're doing their thing,
Right.
they have no interest. They don't look up. I might get one. It's 11. Every one of them I'll give because I've got the mask on too. So you can't even really get, but I think you can tell a smile and a mask, eyes raised, whatever the case may be.
Right.
If they look up, I give them a hello once. There's the
I
IV
know
going
it's
up.
beeping.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, it has to remind us that you are at a hospital because, quite frankly, okay, it looks like you could just be at a radio studio and shoved in the corner somewhere because the walls are the same color and what have you. So you got some photos behind you. I mean, Raj has some, gear behind him. I mean, you look like you could be at a radio station just in a different studio.
But like I said, while the nurses are wonderful, when I do the walk, they're doing their thing.
Good.
They're not interested
Good.
really in talking to you. Every once in a while, I'll catch them before shift change, and I'll make a little quip because you can tell they're ready to go home.
Sure.
Now, the cleaners are a little they're all friendly, but no, you would appreciate their demeanor in the halls. They don't want to say hello to you 11 times, David.
Good.
They might do it once, and that's good enough for all of them.
Good. That's outstanding. Yes. I don't want to converse with you either. So good. Fantastic. And yeah, I would just keep walking. How many laps did you do? I don't know, 37. I don't know what that adds up to, but I got nothing else to do. I always love when you're finally getting out of the room and you got to bring the IV with you. Okay. And you do feel like you're in a 1-hour TV drama or you're a scene in a movie. When at least I do when I'm walking down the hall with the thing. I'm like, is anybody videotaping this? And am I like am I an extra? In a movie right now? Okay, are they filming somewhere at the end of the hall and I'm just making it look like I'm in a hospital? Is that what this is? Because I am. Okay. So good to know. Miller and Moulton on this Friday. It's Friday the 13th. And as Mark mentioned yesterday, it's our first non-football Friday in a very long time. So I was of the belief that it was 30 weeks yesterday that the NFL season was going to kick off. But apparently there's a chance that we could have a Wednesday game.
That's the sounds of it. The Australia game.
Yeah.
ESPN.
It's possible. It is definitely possible. It would. Now you have to admit, okay, and this is, being selfish enough about me. You talk about me for a while. Okay. But my travel was so bad this past football season because we had 6 trips out west for CBS and the Big Ten.
Right.
And so it would be hysterical if my first year out of 20 without college football, if the very first game, where are you going? Melbourne, Florida? No, Australia.
Right.
Huh. I'll be damned. Wow.
Well, I am
travel.
going to be all over you to take a couple of days and extend and at least see something while you're there, because you're not going to get another chance. If you end up on this trip, you're not going to get another chance to go there. Not many people get to see that continent. Those that I know that have say it's incredible. My wife's best friend went a few years ago. My best friend went when he played college hockey, went to play college hockey over there. And this is like in 1990, and raved about it. So if it happens, I am going to be all over you to say, I don't care. You need to spend a couple extra days, screw the show for a week. We'll figure it out and take in Australia. And the first thing you got to find out, I don't know when Australian rules football season is, but you got to get there in and around so you can go to a damn game. Drink a Foster's with the locals and catch some Aussie rules football.
Well, my understanding, the pubs open at 8 a.m. is my understanding, which would be something because doing the math, Melbourne, because there's a bunch of different time zones in Australia also. So apparently where the game's going to be is Melbourne, which is 16 hours ahead of the Eastern time zone of the U.S. It's 19 hours ahead of L.A. and San Francisco, the two teams that are going to be in it. But if you think about it, if it's a primetime game in the States, that's noon the next day in Australia. It's why primetime's really the only time you could do it. Because
Right.
if it was the 9:30 European time slot, in the U.S., that would be, I think, 3:30 in the morning.
Right. It's a primetime
right.
game. It's a guarantee that it's a primetime game.
Yeah. So the thought is it's going to be right now Amazon or ESPN, ABC, because NBC is likely to have the Seahawks opener. So the NFL is apparently deciding, should Seattle get the first game because they're the Super Bowl champions and, that's what we do? Or are they going to say, no, you'll play Thursday, but we got to take care of the Rams and the Niners here. We've put a lot of travel on them, so we're going to, this way they can get to Australia early. They can get acquainted if they want, the whole deal. Play the game Thursday at noon in Australia, Wednesday night in the States. And then even if they get on a plane right away and they come back, and my understanding is from the West Coast to Australia is like 14 hours, by air, that they get back like, Thursday night dinner to the States. And well, okay, but then you're not going to play a game for 10 days.
Right.
So, you can just give them the weekend off. Okay. And then come back in on Monday and get ready to go to work. So the thought is that they're going to go first game Australia, and then they'll go Seattle, and then on the Friday they'll go Brazil. So how about that opener for the NFL season? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, take a breath on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 5 out of 6 days to open the season.
To hell with you, college football.
Yeah. You've already started. Enough with you. Get your good games in while people care.
By the way, you tell me week 0 is not going to start being bigger sooner?
Right?
What the NFL's doing? Come on.
So how about that start, though, if the NFL does that? Melbourne, Seattle, Brazil.
Hello.
So
anyway. Friday the 13th, Miller and Moulton. We've got plenty to talk about, including some NFL with our buddy Pat Kirwan. David booking a couple of baseball guests. We'll do a little AL East, Orioles and Red Sox talk. Rich Dubroff will cover the Orioles with us in the 7 o'clock hour, and our old friend Lou Merloni in the bonus hour to talk Red Sox, and Lee Spencer to talk the 500 also in the 8 o'clock hour. Did you watch last night? Did you watch your twin dual Gatorade?
Stop it. Okay. Yes, I did. Okay. Big wreck at the 2 wrecks, but a big wreck on the final lap in overtime of the first duel. And boy, Ross Chastain just got destroyed. Man.
All I know is that our friend asked me who was going to win the races. I said Logano and Larson. One finished first, the other one finished third. You want a NASCAR expert on this show? I'll let you know what's going to happen.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe Lee Spencer knows more, been in the pits for about 40 years, but okay. Or otherwise, we could just fall back on you.
Fords in the first race, Chevys in the second race, right? Is that what we had?
Yeah, boy, the Fords did dominate the first race. They had 7 of the top 8 spots for most of that race.
Whew.
Yeah.
Look out now.
Okay. All right. That's it. Gonna have to change the subject. Can't even do a minute and flip in half on the Daytona 500. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Miller and Moulton, thanks for joining
Your roof
us.
is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
When Glass Doctor replaces your windshield, we don't just send you on your way, we send you off protected. Your local Glass Doctor includes the industry's only 12-month windshield protection plan at no extra cost. That means unlimited chip repairs and even a one-time replacement if needed. High-quality service backed by real peace of mind, right here in your neighborhood.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh yeah.
Exclusions apply. See your local Glass Doctor for details.
This is Miller and Moulton.
And Jay Gunn, yes, I am aware that Foster's not a popular beer in Australia, but Americans do equate that beer with that country. So the point is for our listeners to understand what I'm talking about, not those in Australia. But thank you for correcting me.
It is Australian for beer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like when I went to Ireland and, talking about harp and what have you, and they looked at me and they're like, yeah, we don't like to serve that here. And I literally said to the guy, what do you like to serve? And he goes, Budweiser. I go,
That's what my buddy that went to Australia, now it's been, almost 40 years ago. He said they drank Bud.
yeah, well, and now Bud owns, what's the big beer that they bought?
I was laughing. I Castellanos, whatever, didn't get. They told him not to show, and then they dumped him, and he's still getting paid. But the guy's had a pretty good career.
Huh.
The whole trade your life guy that you did years ago.
Right.
He's had a pretty solid career.
Right. Would you trade it all to be Nick Castellanos?
But all I can think about is the Reds announcer. It's the only thing that I will ever remember with Castellanos.
Yep.
To no fault of Nick's, but it just every time I see him, that is the only thing that comes in my head.
Yep.
Yeah, go Raiders. The pub in Saginaw used to have $2 oil cans. Pretty good deal. By the way, is that the real C Mill in there? Holy cow! If that's you, I'm impressed, my man. Pride of Grimsby. Nobody's going to get you. Nobody's going to win you a bigger draw than C Mill. If it's that C Mill. If it's not, welcome either way. Been doing a few NFL radio shows, huh?
Well, they fired his co-host.
What?
Yeah. It actually happened right before. It happened in between Senior Bowl and Super Bowl, because Pat did Super Bowl week with the former Raider. I'll think of it, who lives out there. So they just said, "Hey, since you're here, can you do it?" And then they booked me for this week, and then they're going to have rotating hosts beginning next week.
Oh boy!
Then the following week, he's at the combine. But yeah.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Hey, thanks for waking up with us. We hope you had a great week. We've had some fun. Hope you think so. Miller and Moulton, MillerandMoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Need to come up with a poll question today. Right? I mean, if I want to torture you, I'd try to come up with something Daytona 500-ish, even if it's, will it rain at the Daytona 500? Will they finish on Sunday? But
this is the problem, is that you're now able to put a poll question up yourself, because I could have just looked you dead in the eye and said, yeah, put it up, David, knock yourself out.
I know how to do it. I think I know I've done it once, but I didn't really take notes. I don't know if I took mental notes either. I could probably, give me an hour uninterrupted. I could probably figure out how to do it, but yeah, I know I have the potential. I'm just not all that interested in
in executing it.
Right, in filling it.
Right. I did take a DoorDash coupon or a gift card off of Moulton yesterday by laying 3.5 with Canada.
Yep. And then
Canada and the U.S. both won in decisive fashion yesterday in Olympic hockey. U.S. scored a bunch. They didn't all count. Right. Latvia's challenge system was fantastic in the first period.
Sure was.
And it actually seemed to frustrate. I did not think that the U.S. team played, even though they would have been up with the 2 goals, 3-1. It was 1-1 after 1. I didn't think that they played particularly well in the first period. They were getting beat to a few pucks. They looked like it was just supposed to happen. And then in the second period, it's Latvia. I get it. The level of talent between A and B is a canyon, like the Grand Canyon. But some of the goals that the United States team scored in the second period, one in particular, was poetry.
Beautiful.
It was absolute poetry on ice. My goodness, was it beautiful.
I mean, when all 5 guys touched the puck in the zone on a goal, it was magnificent. It really was. It was like, wow, we're pretty good at this. This story had been building for 3 days. And something had to happen yesterday because they were going to race yesterday. But I'm talking about the Ukrainian skeleton
Right? Okay.
racer who, I guess during practice rounds, had been wearing a helmet that honors the over 20 athletes and coaches from the Ukraine who have been killed in the war. And you can wear it practicing. But they said to him, they go, you can't wear that in the race, right? Because I guess they have a rule about, quote, making statements on the field of play, unquote.
Yep. Political statements, I guess, is what.
Right. And now I have to admit, I'd look right at him and go, so let me get this straight. You're banning the Russian and who's the other country? Is it Belarus? So let me get this straight. You're banning two nations athletes from competing in the games because of the war, but I can't wear a helmet? I mean, it seems as if this doesn't jive, but that's me. But they were insistent. They're like, listen, you can't wear the helmet. Apparently, the president of the IOC, a woman, was pleading with him with tears, saying, please don't make us disqualify you. We'll let you wear a black armband. As soon as the race is over, we'll hand you the helmet. You can do all your pictures and interviews with the helmet on. Please don't make us do this. And he wouldn't take the helmet off.
Nope. And he was disqualified.
And
David,
disqualified.
You're either going to be surprised or go, yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I'm on the side of the IOC. 100% I'm on the side of the IOC.
I am too, because if you allow it for one,
bingo,
it's a ball game.
There you go.
I mean, I thought even the whole black armband was a big concession by then.
Because, a huge concession.
Because, anybody could wear a black armband. They could have somebody that just died in their family. That you can always honor somebody. So,
right. And then what's next? A blue armband for this. And I mean, come on. Look it. We don't want, most of us, some of you may like it. Most of us do not want our sports and our politics mixed. We watch it for the event. I had a buddy here yesterday. He was a big NBA fan. He doesn't like it anymore. And the reason he doesn't like it is because they mix the two. He's like, I don't care. I don't care what their views are. Never have, never will. And that's the difference between he and I. I can differentiate. I can let them say it and still watch the games and not give a damn what Steve Kerr is going to say after the game. I don't need to listen.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I already know what his opinions are.
Right. I know where he's coming from.
Right. So, but I do understand what the IOC was doing here, and I fully support them. They gave this man every opportunity, and he chose to do the exact opposite of what they begged him not to do.
I mean, yeah, they went beyond the pale. I mean,
right.
They didn't just, they didn't play hard line. She was begging him. She had tears in her eyes going, please don't do this. He, by the way, was a medal favorite.
Right.
This is not a guy who was expected to finish 17th. Right. But, and plus also, I mean, I would have said to him, you've generated 3 days of attention. You've accomplished. We're going to hand you you could literally be, as you cross the finish line, start taking your helmet off. Okay. Literally, we will toss you another helmet while you're still on the course. You can take the helmet off, put this one on.
But from the time the stopwatch goes until it stops, you can't wear it.
Right. So, hell of a story. Listen,
it really is, David. You're right.
You and I can hold a grudge. You and I can draw the line in the sand.
And my heart goes out to him, David.
Yeah, sure.
How could any of us in this country and even those that protest about a lot of stuff have any clue what this man feels. He's lost friends and colleagues in war.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
unless you're of a generation older than us, we don't have a clue.
No.
Very few of us. I guess there's some that have served in the Gulf War, but I mean, for the vast majority of us, like 99.9% of us, we don't have a clue.
A helmet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree with the IOC, and yet at the same time, I feel for him in this sense. If imagine how hurt your soul is by the war that you're going to take this stand. And then when they explain to you what the penalty is going to be, and you have done this for years and trained for years, that the pain and the suffering that you and your people have just experienced and are experiencing in war outweighs in your mind, in your heart, outweighs your own personal Olympic endeavor. I mean, that is a tortured soul right there.
And obviously there are lots of them from that nation. But at the end of the day, they gave him every opportunity. Their rules are very simple. And he decided on his own,
correct,
to not follow them.
Yep.
Miller and Moulton, terrific show lined up for you. A little baseball, a little racing, a little NFL. The starting five, that's what we do next.
American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Let's talk the big differences between Floormeisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floormeisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floormeisters backs their installer, so if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floormeisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floormeisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Get ready, Southwest Florida. The Southwest Florida Ag Expo is back. Now's the time to save big with the Mega Pass. Your all-in-one ticket to the fun, one low price. Get you one-day admission and unlimited midway rides. Mega Passes available online through February 26th at swflagexpo.com. Don't wait. Grab yours. Get ready for roots, rides, and real fun. Lee County. Building a better community through business, sports, and tourism.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Oh, that's funny. R word. What's that? Racing. Want to have a Valentine's Day question?
Will you be mine? Yeah, we can do a Valentine's Day question.
What are you doing for Valentine's Day?
What do you buy your significant other for Valentine's Day? Flowers, chocolates.
DoorDash.
I was going to go with dinner. That would apply to you.
Told my wife, tried to shame her yesterday on the show.
She doesn't care.
Nope. That's exactly what she said.
Doesn't care.
Nope. 30 years in June. Oh, good God.
Wow.
I'm impressed, Moulton.
What, 30 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I take instructions. It's funny. I only take instructions well from women.
It's very true.
My mom, my wife, both my grandmothers when they were alive.
It's funny, David. This story's been building for 3 days. I thought you were going Childress, the Ole Miss quarterback.
By the way, well, no, I was saving.
We're doing a segment on it.
I know.
Sure.
I was saving that for one of our 7 o'clock segments because that one's, first of all, just the developments yesterday. Didn't he go 1-1 yesterday? But, you know, all he needed was a win. I thought it was announced in the morning. He lost.
Yeah, but then he got a judge, and this
Then
is
he
a
had a
joke.
different judge.
This is a
different
judge.
Right. Totally. Just keep filing.
I mean,
appeals.
just find a judge who's an alum, and we're in good shape.
Right. You know, you've lost 4 appeals. Yeah, but Sonny hasn't heard our case yet. He's on the board in Oxford. God, it's hysterical. Once again, and that's why we're very simple. 5 years removed from high school. Let's go. Johnny Mac, so Tampa General had a McDonald's on the first floor?
Nothing sells, repeat business quite like having a McDonald's on the first floor.
I was say they have the heart monitors that they, you.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. Rich Dubroff, who covers the Orioles, he'll join us 1 hour from now. Pat Kirwan's going to join us to talk NFL. Lee Spencer to talk NASCAR. Diamond District bonus hour. We'll begin with Lou Merloni talking Red Sox. We're going to try to give you as much of a taste and a feel of the baseball season before it starts and while it's going on as we can, because once again, Miller and Moulton absolutely positively convinced there will be no baseball in 2027 at all. In fact, I think we're willing to bet that we're not sure the 2028 season will start on time either. At least I am. I think this is going to be ugly, nasty.
I don't think they're missing more than a year. I think that the 27 season at some point will be shortened, reduced, and played. But if there's no other sport that's done this quite like baseball. I mean, when their labor stoppages have occurred, they were at very positive moments in the sport. Hockey did it.
I was going to say, hockey, Rangers win the first cup in 54 years, and hockey decides not to play for about 4 months.
Right. Hockey did, but I mean, this is going to be for sure the second time for baseball. But I could argue the third time that baseball's had a labor stoppage when they've been on an upswing.
Well, actually, they missed games in 95. They didn't play 162 in 95. The 95 season started just a touch late after the whole 94 strike. 81.
That's what I'm saying. So I didn't know the exact year, but in the 80s, the 94, and if they do, and they're going to do it this year, and I mean, baseball's on an uptick. There's the TV numbers show it, the attendance numbers show it, the revenue numbers show it. So let's go on strike, or let's lock the players out, whatever it is you're going to do.
So Rich Dubroff, Pat Kirwan, Lee Spencer, Lou Merloni coming up on the show, but that's after
The Starting Five. 5 big stories you need to know. Here is The Starting Five.
Brought to you by Lee County, Florida. They know how to host spring training. They do it at 2 sites. Oh, hell, for some of us, it should have been 3. Lee County, building a better community through business, sports, and tourism. You're looking at me with a scrunched face. You don't remember when the Nationals were thinking about moving to downtown?
I didn't say anything. I know.
That's all. I just said for some.
Would have been less hotel rooms for the Nats this year because the Post doesn't have a sports department.
Although, did you hear the Baltimore Banner made a big announcement, was it yesterday, the day before, in which they said, we're going to cover the DC sports scene. They're like hiring a good chunk of the people who got laid off from the Post, and they're going to start covering the Washington teams, which they never did before. They were Baltimore and let the Post do the Post thing. So apparently, give them a few days to get their house in order and what have you, but the Baltimore Banner is going to try to take advantage of this and sell subscriptions and the whole deal and cover the DC sports scene. We'll see if it works. All right, on to the starting 5. We'll start with the NFL. We mentioned it earlier. John Oran of Puck reporting they're going to open the 2026 schedule with a Wednesday-Thursday thing, September 9th and 10th. They're either going to open with the Seahawks on Wednesday because, they won the Super Bowl. That's the first game of the year, the home team, etc. By the way, I think it's going to be Seahawks-Bears. A lot of people think it's going to be Seahawks-Chiefs. Seattle has an amazing home schedule. Amazing. Take the division games out of it. Their other 6 games are the Bears, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, a Super Bowl rematch with New England, and the Harbaugh brothers, the Giants and the Chargers. I mean, if you're the NFL, it's tough to screw this one up.
I might throw the Giants there. I know it's not the best quality team, but when you guaranteed a big number, I might just.
So my pick is Bears.
All right.
You guys pick accordingly. So, but then the other day, it's either Wednesday, Seattle, Thursday, Australia, or Wednesday, Australia, Thursday, Seattle. And the Australia game's Rams, Niners. So we know that's not going to be the opener for the Seahawks. So there you have it. And then I think Friday, Brazil. So we're looking at some trifecta of Seattle, Melbourne, Rio. Hello. College football. Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss. He has lost 3 times now to gain a 6-year of eligibility. But don't worry. Then he went and found a judge with strong ties to Ole Miss. And last night, Trinidad Chambliss was granted his 6th year of eligibility. from essentially a judge who might as well have been handpicked by the Ole Miss athletic department. This is unbelievable. And we took heat earlier this week when we suggested a simple rule of you get 5 years after graduating high school. Figure it out your damn self. 6 year of eligibility. He needed a fourth judge to give him the victory. And now if you're the NCAA and or the SEC, when do you think a conference, when do you think the other schools in a conference go, okay, enough. We got to fight this? Or do they all go, that could be us next year?
Why would they fight it? Unless they don't have a law department. Because the judge in this case received his Juris Doctorate from, wait for it, Ole Miss in 1972.
Oh man, he's in his late 70s.
Probably a donor. Yeah. Where are your seats, sir? Opening question. Quick sidebar. Can we approach? Where are your seats, Judge? This is ridiculous.
Do you go to the Grove, or do they bring the Grove to you, sir?
Exactly.
NASCAR, Joey Logano won the first duel, surviving two big wrecks, one late in the 60 lapper, and then one on the final lap of overtime. So Joey Logano with the win. By the way, on that final lap in overtime, Ross Chastain got gathered up and then some. So he finished 21st in the field. There were only 23 racers. So
I will say the announcers were pretty big on Busch avoiding that race because obviously he's got the pole and want to keep that car and all those things.
Oh,
They were very complimentary of the old man avoiding the wreck.
Well, nothing for him to gain in the race except put some laps in and might as well put the car in the garage. Chase Elliott won the second duel. What does it mean? It means row 2 of the 500 will be Logano and Elliott. Casey Mears and BJ McLeod ended up racing their way into the field. McLeod got in because the guy who originally raced his way in, he had a part that forced him to get disqualified, and he had nothing to do with it. Apparently, they put the part on wrong. Apparently, didn't even make it go faster. So everyone else starts the 500 depending on where they finished in the duels. The race is Sunday mid-afternoon. Pay attention to the weather. Pay attention. Will they move it up at all? They're talking about maybe a window between 2 and 8 o'clock to get the race in. My hope is then they start the race as close to 2 as possible. Olympics, U.S. men's hockey, a 5-1 winner over Latvia. U.S. medal counts up to 14. 4 gold, 7 silver, 3 bronze. Won a silver and a bronze yesterday. Jesse Diggins with a bronze in cross country. Chloe Kim was going for a 3-peat in the women's half pipe. She fell twice, ended up with a silver. Big story. We mentioned it last segment. The Ukrainian skeleton athlete Vladislav Heraskevich disqualified because he insisted on wearing a helmet that honors more than 20 athletes and coaches killed in the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The IOC president pleaded with him over 3 days to no avail. He violated the rule of, quote, making statements on the field of play, unquote. Final night of the NBA before the All-Star break. By the way, no NBA till next Thursday. All-Star game at the Clippers Arena in Los Angeles. Boy, how about OKC mailing one in last night? They had Milwaukee at home. They lost by 17. They were like 14-point favorites. Portland beat Utah in Utah, 135-119. The Blazers and Clippers are tied for 9th out west. And Dallas lost their 10th in a row. The Lakers beat them by 20, 124-104. LeBron becomes the oldest player to record a triple-double. 28 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists. Baseball, Phillies released Nick Castellanos. They had told them to stay away from Clearwater. We're going to try to trade you. Everybody out there said, why should I give up anything for him? You're going to release him by the end of the week.
I mean, they literally told him that they didn't have a locker in the clubhouse for him. And that's not, I'm not messing around. That's not a joke.
No.
That's
They
what they told him.
Yeah.
We don't have a locker for you. Do not show up.
And so he didn't, and he was released. The Phillies are going to have to eat $20 million. $20 million bucks. By the way, Castellanos, stories have come out as to why he's in the doghouse and this, that, and the other thing. He did mouth off to the manager a couple times when he got taken out of games last year as a defensive replacement. He got even suspended for one game last year because he was mouthing off to the manager. But also a story came out that said one time when Castellanos had been taken out of a game that he went into the clubhouse and he grabbed a beer, okay, and he brought the beer with him to sit back in the dugout. And Castellanos did admit yesterday, yeah, I was sitting in the dugout drinking a beer that I'd been taken out of the game. So, you're not supposed to do it. It is a no-no, all right? But you decide how big of a no-no. Dodgers add a year to 35-year-old Max Muncy's contract. He'll make $10 million in 27. Of course, we're not going to have a 27, but anyway. They also re-signed utility man Enrique Hernandez. Golf, Pebble Beach, a signature event. So there's only 80 guys in the field, and they're paying for $20 million bucks. Ryo Hiratsumi from Japan, 10 birdies, no bogeys, a 10 under 62. He has a one-shot lead over Sam Burns and Keegan Bradley. Spieth, Fowler, and Cantlay are 6 under. Rory 4 under. Scheffler even. Did you see, Mark, that guys were hitting 3-woods and knockdown drivers into 17 late in the day? It got that windy.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
And you've played it. Okay, so Now, granted, that 17, they put the tees, pretty far back and all that. But, I mean, what is that for those guys? 4 or 5 iron? Okay, with the tees back?
I mean, I don't even know how far it is before they play it. But, yeah,
I think it's
that's
like
some win.
Yeah.
Right. 215 for them, honestly. David, that's probably a 6 iron.
So
maybe a 7.
How about a normal pebble breeze in your face? Okay, you maybe have to
5, 6.
Okay, yeah. Guys hit woods, knock down woods into 17. So there you have it. Remember, only 80 guys in the field, but remember, everything LIV did is wrong. They suck. 80 guys for $20 million. Oh, speaking of the LIV, they're in Australia. 2 rounds complete in Adelaide. John Rahm with a 1-shot lead over Australian Ben Campbell. Bryson is 2 shots back. I will say, this Anthony Kim story, I know he's on the LIV and what have you, but Anthony Kim, we interviewed him 15 years ago. He was a young up-and-comer on the tour. And then between injuries and drug abuse, he disappeared for 12 years. He resurfaced last year on the LIV tour, didn't play worth a damn, okay? But has figured something out this offseason because he's playing pretty well. And Anthony Kim's 3 shots back. It's a hell of a story. He's 40 years old now. Missed like 12 years between injuries and drugs.
And David, it was on TV last night after the race.
Yep.
Because I had the race on when I went to bed. I'm like, I need something to put me to sleep. Let's put on the second duel. And then when they came to do my vitals, the TV was still on. And I'll be damned, but Live Golf was on. I'm like, this is even better. I'll fall right back asleep. This is outstanding.
It's the starting 5 brought to you by Lee County, Florida, building a better community through business, sports, and tourism. That's 2 cracks at my beloved duels and Daytona speed weeks. Blankety blank.
Rich Dubroff covers the Orioles. We'll talk to him next hour.
Whatever.
Miller and Moulton.
Let's
go racing.
The Cape Coral Police Department is growing, and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000, depending on your experience. And With a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100 grand. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. capecops.com. Be brave, be best, be Cape.
At the Diamond District, we've built our inventory since day one.
We never pass on beautiful jewelry. For years, we've chosen exceptional diamonds and fine jewelry.
And when you buy with love for 2 decades,
your vault fills with extraordinary jewelry. That's why we're emptying the vault now through Valentine's Day. Enjoy rare pricing on jewelry chosen to celebrate love, connection, and commitment.
Will you be mine? Starts with diamonds from the Diamond District. Hablamos Español.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer, so if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. FloorMeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Faro and Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Faro and Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Faro and Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
Hey, Southwest Florida, Jimmy the Beef Guy here. For you that haven't tried us yet, you gotta get in here and try my favorite 5 Chicago-style sandwiches. I got the Italian beef, I got the Italian sausage, the sausage and beef, the Maxwell Street Polish, and our soon-to-be famous breaded steak. Call us at either one of our locations in Bonita Springs and Fort Myers. And guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced jardiniere.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Johnny, you need to chill out, okay? First off, David laughed at what was in the Twitch chat room about someone saying I said the R word,
Right,
racing, and he laughed hysterically. So you don't have a clue. Dude, the fact that you're getting, we spent a good 3 minutes talking about the fact that baseball 3 times was on an uptick when it had a work stoppage. We never said it was funny. We never laughed over it. You're trying to make something that isn't there. Are you absolutely effing kidding me? Right? I'm not blind. Well, I'm glad you're not blind. But you know what? You might be like the rest of the pinball wizard, deaf and dumb. Jesus H. Christ. I don't get it. I don't get it.
He really doesn't like me. Okay.
Whatever.
He comes after me all the time about every little thing. So it is what it is.
Mark, can I have your permission to use that Who line you just did? That was amazing.
And someone just texted me. I need a little help here, David, because I've got the cars in front of me. They've got their winner for us. They've got Hamlin. Plus, they went NASCAR math, which just really pisses me off.
Johnny Mac, it's someone on YouTube, not you.
Hamlin, which that's the 11 car. Plus
Right.
Elliott, that's the 9 car. We're at
Correct.
20.
Yeah.
Plus Keselowski, that's the 6 car. We're at 26.
Uh-huh.
Minus Busch, that's now the 18 car. I don't see an 18 car in the race. Am I missing something?
Well, it's 26 minus 18. Wouldn't it be 8?
No. 26 minus 8.
Oh,
Bush is
okay.
the 8 car. So it's 18's your answer. Right? Do I have that right? 11. Keselowski's 6. I've got them all right here in front of me.
Yeah, well, the 18, by the way, was retired. Kyle Busch's 18 was retired. So we can't have an 18 car. I think they have an 18 car in the Xfinity series. Is it possible Keselowski's a different number?
I'm just what I've got in front of me. It says Keselowski's at 6. Okay, but I you guys are the race guys.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that again. Keselowski's 6, Hamlin's 11,
Elliott's 9. Bush is 8.
Okay, so it's 11 plus 9 plus 6 minus 8.
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Hour 2 of Miller and Moulton on this Friday, the 13th. How many of you believe in that sort of thing? That something bad's going to happen today because it's Friday the 13th. I never believed in it until Tim Russert died of a heart attack on a Friday the 13th 18 years ago. I went, uh-oh, maybe I got to start paying attention to this thing. All right, Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. We got to come up with a poll question.
Well, I've got it going right now. I like your Valentine's Day. That's a good, solid poll question.
All right.
What are you buying your significant other for Valentine's Day? Chocolate, flowers, out to dinner, and nothing. It could be all of the above. It could be nothing. Someone in the chat room suggested adult gifts. I laughed pretty hard at that.
Jewelry? Should D be jewelry?
I think it should be. I mean, we do have the Diamond District bonus hour after all. It would be a disservice to our sponsor to not put jewelry on there.
Well, I understand. I mean, I'll tell you
although
what,
that is a small percentage of us.
I was going to say, if we're going to start putting that in poll questions, they're going to have to start chipping in a few more bucks.
You know what? It's a dadgum good point, David.
Jason, come on now. You got to admit. So, all right, that'll be our poll question. Mark will get it up here in due time, and then I'll do my part, which is I'll repost it. That's
so chocolate, flowers, dinner, nothing, or all. I think nothing.
No, come on, jewelry over nothing, don't you think?
No. I think nothing.
Wow.
I want to see who are the cheap bastards out there.
Or you could change nothing to what, sweetheart?
Ooh.
Look at you, Raj.
Ooh, look at Raj.
Look at Raj there going, sweetheart. Ain't got no stinking sweetheart.
Well, it's
you know what? I think Raj is onto something there.
Okay.
I don't, there could be a bunch of poor single bastards out there that aren't.
So is D, I ain't got no stinking Valentine? Okay.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, fine.
I agree.
All
and
right.
for you ladies, you can just text in what you're buying your sweetheart for Valentine's Day. Because we don't want chocolate, flowers, and we know you're not buying dinner.
Yeah, exactly. So, just for the heck of it, Come on, let's have some fun. Top 10 cap hits as of now in 2026 season in the NFL. Who's got the biggest cap hit? Now, this is assuming, they're on the roster. It's Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson.
The gift that keeps giving, Cleveland.
Right. $80.7 million.
Because they decided to redo his deal.
Totally. No, it's on them, obviously.
I mean, this sucker was about over.
Should have been
They
over.
were about to be done
right.
with one of the most terrific signings in NFL history. And
said,
they decided, let's figure out a way to screw this up even more.
Right. Let's restructure this, which will kick more money down the road, but give us some temporary cap relief. And obviously they did wonders with that temporary cap relief, didn't they? So, this is not, hey, if he gets released, because if Deshaun Watson gets released, it's $120 million dead cap hit, just so you know. I mean, no, we're talking about you're on the roster for all these players. Number one cap hit for next season in the NFL is going to be Deshaun Watson. All right. And I'm being serious. I know you're going to think I'm not, but I'm being serious. If your three quarterbacks are Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson, and Watson is fully healed from the torn Achilles because he hasn't played in a year and a half, and Deshaun Watson, it's July of this year, and he's 30 years old and healthy, and you're stuck with him for one more year, do you play him? Because it's one or the other. Do you give him a chance to play? Or do you just go, dude, you're the third quarterback for every game this year. You're done. You ain't never going to wear the helmet again, okay, and you're done. You ain't playing.
David, that's actually a really interesting question. Because see, this is the part that's so hard for us because we live in the moment. There was a time that this guy could really play.
He was a top 5 when the year before they acquired him, before, his life went off the rails. Okay, he was a top 5 quarterback in the league. It was not arguable, by the way. He was 4th or 5th. I mean, that's who Cleveland thought they were acquiring.
So don't you have to play him with that in mind?
I don't know.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Does anyone think either are going to be franchise quarterbacks?
Well, not in 2026. I mean, I'm just talking about for 2026. You're Cleveland. You're a new coach, by the way, also. You're Todd Monken. What are you doing here? Are you going to let him compete?
By the way, Todd Monken, who had Lamar, and I mean, there are similarities there. I mean, Deshaun, more of a thrower, but can run the ball. I don't know if he still can. I don't know. I don't know.
Now, he would never play for me. I'm done. No, but I would just say to him, I would say, listen, fair, unfair, whatever. I don't know what to tell you. You're getting $46 million of my cash guaranteed. It's fully guaranteed. You're not playing, just so you know. You're not. Sorry. Okay? You'll be an unrestricted free agent next year at 31 years of age. Okay? So don't give me any grief. You will have just pocketed nearly $250 million from us. Don't give me any grief. You're not playing. You want to keep showing up for practice? You want to stay in shape? We can't keep you out of the building because we ain't releasing you. But you ain't playing, just so you know. Okay? And that's what I would tell them. And don't be a problem, by the way, because I'll fine your every chance I get. I'll suspend you without pay every chance I get. But you ain't playing. You haven't played for the last year and a half. Make it 2.5. You ain't playing. Or do you go, man, my quarterback room sucks. And we don't have any money because of this guy's contract. So might as well just throw him in the mix, see if he's got any game left.
Part of me that thinks that's the option you should take.
Okay.
I mean, I know we don't have open competitions anymore,
but you might.
But in Cleveland, I'd say I don't. If when that presser when Moulton has the presser and they start talking about who's going to, I don't know. We're going into the season with an open quarterback competition.
Well, don't you do one of two things? Either you open it and you go, hey, this is old school. This is how training camp used to be. Okay, we got 3 guys. We're going to split the reps. All right, let's go. We're going to split the playing time. 3 preseason. One guy will start one guy will start one guy will start one. Don't know what to tell you. And then we'll decide who our quarterback's going to be. This is old school camp, boys. Or do you just name Shedeur the starter?
Honestly, David, I'm not trying. It's one or the other. You can't have it any other way.
And if I
know everybody wants Shedeur to be the starter, but he didn't show a lot last year.
No.
He goes backward too much.
Or do you do you bury Deshaun and you make it a competition between the 2 kids again?
That's probably what will happen. But I do love the idea of an open quarterback competition. I really do.
So,
and if you're screw the coach here. If you're the owner, David.
Well, I'd like to think this came up in the interview process, though, if I'm Monken or anybody else.
I know, but
do I get to decide the quarterback, or because you made the deal that you made, am I stuck playing? If he's healthy, am I stuck playing this guy? I mean, I know you're asking a lot of questions of me. I get to ask some questions of you.
Look, it's why so many guys pulled out of that interview process. So you wonder if it did indeed come up.
So $80.7 million on the cap. It'd be $40 million more if they got rid of him. The dead cap hit would be $120. So anyway, that's the number 1 cap hit for next year. Mahomes, by the way, is number 2. He will count $78.2 million on the Chiefs cap. You got to think a restructure is coming, don't you? Lamar, 74.5. Dak, 74.1. Goff, 69.6. Josh Allen, 56.4. Tua, 56.3. Remember, that's with him on the roster.
Right.
Off the roster, it's divvy up $98 million over 2 years or take it all at once. Kyler Murray's 52.7 if he's on the Cardinals roster. Baker's 52 on the Bucs cap. So the way they've structured the contract and what have you, there were years with not much of a cap hit, but this coming year, his cap hit's 52 because his salary's 35. Oh, Mark, remember we talked about the Dolphins are going to have a rough 2026 because they're not going to have any cap room? And Tua is 7th biggest cap hit. Tyreek is 10. He's 51.1. So think about it. They're going to get rid of Tyreek, and then they're going to do something with Tua. Between the 2 of them, in terms of dead cap hits, you're talking between 130 and 150, and they got to figure out how they're going to pull it off. The cap's 300, by the way. So there you go. You got a month till the new year starts. Okay, get the bookkeeper in. Put your taxes aside. You got to figure out the salary cap if you're an NFL team first. You do the taxes later.
The Cape Coral Police Department is growing and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000 depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. capecops.com. Be brave, be best. Be Cape.
American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Farrow & Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Farrow & Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Farrow & Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer, so if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. FloorMeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
This is Miller and Moulton.
So I need the daughter to get Valentine's Day presents today.
Right. She's got to come through for you. Right.
And I texted my wife yesterday. I said, leave X amount of dollars of mine out for Maddie. And she said, why does she need this? None of your business. Leave her the money.
That always goes over.
I know.
Well,
and I'm typing it going, this
right.
is great.
Yep. You had to be just howling in the room by yourself, howling, going, oh, this is going over big, big.
All right. So the NASCAR math guy doesn't know how to do NASCAR math.
Unless we're wrong on one of
No,
those.
no. He came back. He goes, I was going for the 24 car. My math's off.
Gotcha.
All right. William Byron is the 24 car for those wondering, because I didn't know who it was. I was looking for me. Why, thank you, Aurora. I feel fantastic. I really do.
Looking good, Lewis.
Feeling good.
Well, Aurora, he just told his wife that it's none of her business as to why he was giving.
All right, she's going to get home from work today, and there's going to be flowers and Norman Love chocolate there, and then that will do.
Then hopefully she'll figure it out.
Right.
I don't know about that, Aurora, but you don't have to compliment both of us.
Chocolate covered earrings. Thank you, Paula, but it is not I actually feel great. I feel fine. I got a good night's sleep last night. Kind of figured out. I had to laugh though that somehow the the remote became unplugged, and so the nurse came in to do something last night, took me up to the IVs or whatever. And I'm trying to turn the volume down. I'm like, we've got a bigger problem. The remote doesn't work.
Uh-oh.
And so I got up to use the facilities, and somehow the cord was under the bed. She's got the whole, she's like ripped it out of the wall when she tried to do something. She's, I think we got to bring IT in here tomorrow. I may have screwed something up. It was funny. No, Paul, it's going to get worse. I'm aware I'm going to get weaker, but right now life is good. No complaints. Except for the food. God, the food sucks.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, they have like a special every week. And the Mediterranean tacos were not awful.
Was that the special?
Yeah. A Euro and Mediterranean tacos. I had the Euro 2 days ago. I had the Mediterranean tacos yesterday. I just want a real meal. Can't eat those. I guess I could eat stone crab. Well, don't share terrible thoughts. I don't need terrible thoughts, Paul. Come on, you were a nurse. What the hell? No, I haven't lost a lot of taste, Javier. I really haven't. It's for a couple of days there was a very metally taste in my mouth, but that's gone. The food here is just meh, like that commercial, meh. And by the time it gets up here, because they cover it to keep it hot, it gets that steamy bleh taste.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton. MillerandMoulton.com. Miller_Moulton on X. Rich Dubroff, who covers the Orioles. He will join us in a little more than 15 minutes' time, in which we'll do about an hour and a half's worth of interviews in a row, covering baseball, football, NASCAR, all coming up on Miller and Moulton. Listen, you know I'm all for everybody making as much as they can.
Yep, we always have them.
Right. But I've always believed that, sometimes you're paying a guy enough. I'm sure he wants more or she wants more, but, I don't know.
Well, you and I think you and I have been pretty consistent. We're all for guys making as much as they want, but we also believe guys should honor contracts that they sign. We've never been big on the whole need to tear that up and pay me more money. We understand that it happens. We're not big fans of it. Is that safe? Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. So, PJ Fleck. And I'm not picking on PJ Fleck at all. He didn't do anything wrong. And, the whole row your boat thing, whatever. But I think he's a good coach. And I think he's brought, for the resources that he has and where he has. Now, I could argue he should have more resources. They've got Fortune 500 companies in Minneapolis. They could, I think, spend more money on their sports there. But I know what they're spending. I know where they are budget-wise in the grand scheme of things and what have you. And for the most part, PJ's winning between 6 and 8 games a year, and they're going to a bowl every year.
David, who was the Gophers coach that you liked? His name escapes me right now.
Glenn Mason.
They got Glenn Mason. They got rid of because they didn't know who they were.
Right.
PJ Fleck is perfect for what Minnesota is. I don't know if Fleck could have gone to a Penn State and brought them what they needed, but I'm with you. I'm not a big fan. There's just people that have told me things over the years, and I trust their opinions. I'm not a huge fan of his, but you cannot really question the success he's had as a head coach. He's done well.
So he's 66-44 at Michigan Minnesota for what it's worth. So he's entering his 10th season. So, 66 wins in 9 years. Do the math. That's 7 and change a year. Yeah, okay.
For the
By the way-
Gophers. That's
right.
for Minnesota.
By the way, he's been to 7 bowls in 9 years. Do you know what his record is in bowl games? 7-0. Okay. So I got no problem with him. So he's making $6 million. That's his salary. $6 million, which is bottom half of the conference, by the way.
Wow.
18-team conference. It's bottom half. Okay. He gets a $1.2 million retention bonus for this coming season. So that'll bring him to 7-2. Minnesota decided yesterday to give him an additional $700,000 management bonus. The Board of Regents approved it. So now he's going to make 7.9 this year.
Okay.
Which will only rank him 10th. I mean, say that out loud. 18 teams in the Big Ten. PJ Fleck's going to make 7.9. He's 10th. He's at the top of the bottom half. But here's my question. Did you really have to give him the $700,000? I mean, seriously, sure he wants it. I'm sure he's asking for it. You've already given him a $1.2 million retention bonus because he stayed for his 10th year. You're paying him $6 million base salary. I mean, did you have to give him an additional $700,000? You couldn't have given that, hell, to his staff, hell, to buy players, hell, to 14 other minor sports. Give him $50,000 each.
He's got a corner there, I believe. I believe it's a corner. I don't think it's a safety, but he's got a D back from Immokalee. And that kid was wanted in the portal. Never put his name in the portal.
Right.
But was told by Miami
right,
and at least one other school, here's what we'll give you.
Put your name in the portal.
And I'll give the Gophers credit. They paid the man his money. They paid the kid $2 million or whatever the hell. I mean, apparently he's going to be, he's going to be could possibly be a first day pick. For sure is going to be a first or second round pick. Okay.
But
good for him, good for the kid. But I'm with you. Why not take the $700,000 and get the coach? I don't know, a right tackle.
I don't know. Spread it out amongst your staff. Spread it out amongst the
I'd
minor
pay it.
sports.
I'd give it to the players now. I'm sorry. I would not be giving the $700,000 to the coaches. I'd be giving it to the players.
Okay. I mean, this is where I go, hey, yeah, I'm fine with PJ. No, he represents the university well. He does a pretty good job recruiting too. He actually gets some 4 stars. No, he's doing a good job. Yeah. Like we talked about, we are who we are. Okay. And we like him representing us. That's great. You just decided to give him an additional $700,000?
Again, I'd be buying the players.
So, I mean,
because the Indiana's changed everything in that conference. Go get me more players. I need more Jimmys and Joes, man. Does he need the 700? No, I'm with you, David.
I mean, do you really think you're going to lose him because he's making $7.2 million instead of 7.9? I mean, listen. PJ's tried to get other jobs. I mean, and people are going to come after PJ. If he wants to go, he wants to go. But I don't know. I just looked at that and went, come on, really? Did you have to give him that money? Is this really going to come back and bite you? Like you said, give him the $700,000 or buy a starter.
I'd take another player. That's just me.
I'd look right at him and say, no, I'm going to buy you a guard. Remember that Indiana safety who went to court to get his eligibility and play last year? I mean, he was making $600,000. They look right at him and go, no, I'll buy you one of those. I don't know. But remember, there's not enough money. There's not enough money.
That is staggering to me, though, at 7.9. I mean, the big thing, I'm a fan of the Dan Patrick Show. They always do at the end of the show, what'd you learn today? That 7.9 million puts you 10th in the Big Ten rankings of coaching salaries.
At
that
18. Yeah.
That I'm telling you, David, that one just floored me. I'm not kidding at all.
Just remember, there's not
enough
money.
Wow.
Remember that. There's not enough.
And the other thing that we learned in the last 24 hours is that if you have a judge, you can get more eligibility.
Right.
Because Chambliss is
the
going
judge
to play maybe for another year.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge took 90 minutes of speaking, chastising the NCAA for not following their own rules. This kid went 0 for 3 in the appellate process.
Yep.
Trying to get another year. And this judge tore down every one of those. Oh, by the way, this judge is a grad of Ole Miss.
Yep. And a booster. Yep. Uh-huh. So where's his
No corruption in this sport right now.
No, everything.
And that's why I do give, going back, I give Sankey all the credit in the world for going to that Alabama case with the basketball player and saying, I don't think he should get eligibility. That takes huge kahunas. And we haven't seen Sankey or Petiti make those kinds of statements. I would love to challenge Commissioner Sankey right now and say, what are your thoughts on Chambliss's eligibility?
And he'd say, we have one judge per school lined up. We're ready to go.
Got a cracked window or foggy glass? Don't wait for the next storm to make it worse. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business is just down the road and ready to help. From leaky frames to shattered panes, we've got the tools and the know-how to get your home or business storm ready. With flexible scheduling and our done right promise, you'll be in good hands. So before or after the weather hits, call your neighbors at Glass Doctor.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor. We fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Let's talk the big differences between Floormeisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floormeisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floormeisters back their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floormeisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floormeisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Faro and Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Faro and Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Faro and Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs.
Hey, Southwest Florida, Jimmy the Beef Guy here. For you that haven't tried us yet, you gotta get in here and try my favorite 5 Chicago-style sandwiches. I got the Italian beef, I got the Italian sausage, the sausage and beef, the Maxwell Street Polish, and our soon-to-be famous breaded steak. Call us at either one of our locations in Bonita Springs and Fort Myers. And guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced jardiniere.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Hey, Johnny O, this might be the last time that I communicate with you, even if I do this show for another 10 years. So I'm going to ask you a couple of serious questions. I don't care that you don't like me as a sports talk show host. I mean, everyone can't be universally liked. That comes with the business. That's fine. Do you really think I'm a bad person? Because what you just alleged is that I'm laughing. First off, we weren't talking about the economic impact of spring training in a community. We were just talking about Major League Baseball and its short-term future. And do you really think that I was laughing because communities are going to lose tens of millions of dollars of economic impact because they're going to miss out on spring training next year? I mean, really? Do you think I'm that bad of a human being? Also, if you've listened to the show for any length of time, you can't advocate spring training more than me. Hell,
It's impossible.
I nearly brought the Cubs to Naples, for God's sakes.
Look it up. These are all facts.
I mean,
like you're so wrong. It's not even funny. You are a moron. Sorry, Aurora's nice. You're a moron, and I'll say it out loud. And I don't give an F. I've had it. I'm in an effing cancer ward. I'm going to say anything I want for the rest of my life. You're a moron.
I mean,
you try to pick fights every day in here, and you try to pick them with David. Do you think you know more than him? You don't.
It's fine that you don't like me, but I mean, do you really think I'm that bad of a person?
By the way,
you take everything I say and you twist it and you needle it and you separate it and you insert. I mean, Johnny, we get it. You don't like me. Let's just leave it at that. Let the folks in the chat room have a nice conversation. And every day you could just put, by the way, I don't like Moulton.
Let's move on, because I got things I'd rather talk to you about than worry about this ass. So someone brought up in the chat room, because I didn't watch it, and I know no one in the chat room cares, but this ice dancing pair that lost.
Oh, and got screwed by the French judge.
Did you see the differential in points? Like the French judge had them like 9 points higher, the French skaters, than any other skaters did.
And had the U.S. skaters like 7
You got to call this
lower.
guest, Raj, if you haven't already.
Remember, Raj, the 3 of our 4 guests need to be called.
And you're figuring it out, Twitch. When you can't figure out who it is, it's someone on YouTube. And you guys spend a lot of time worrying about things that. And it's very nice of you, Aurora. I don't. My dad was a mean SOB.
But he loved his women's softball.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
22 minutes to the top of the hour. Pat Kirwan will join us then to talk all things NFL. He's getting ready for the combine in a week and a half. He's already making his free agent lists on offense and defense and figuring out who to tag. And yeah, Pat doesn't take a lot of time off.
No, I mean, I could bother Pat. You know, Pat's going to find out that I'm like, when do you got an hour for me after the show that I can break down free agency with you?
Pat will join us at the top of the hour. Rich Dubroff covers the Orioles in Major League Baseball for BaltimoreBaseball.com. Follow him on X at Rich Dubroff, Dubroff, Dubroff. Rich, it's David and Mark. Thanks for doing this. Good morning. How are you? Rich?
Now let's try
He's
it
there
again.
now.
Rich, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right, great. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it, particularly at this hour. How about the revamped Orioles pitching staff? This is quite something. They guess they realized, you know what, we're not good enough. We got to do something about this.
All right, you are. When you look at the other pitching staffs in the AL East, the Orioles the Orioles needed to get something more. You look at the Toronto Blue Jays. They added Dylan Cease, and look at the Red Sox, and of course the Yankees are going to get looks like Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon back early in the season. So I think that there are a lot of formidable pitching staffs in this division, and the Orioles certainly needed to strengthen it. I mean, while they don't really have a so-called ace, they certainly look a lot better than they did a week ago.
Do you need an ace in the regular season anymore with the way the game's played and so many guys going 5-6 innings? Is it more important to eat innings up? I mean, I know everybody would love to have an ace. Don't get me wrong. I get that. But is it necessary over 162 in today's baseball?
It's sure helpful. I don't know if it's necessary. I mean, I look back at some of the Orioles' good teams. In 2023, they won 101 games, and they didn't have an ace. Kyle Bradish was good. Kyle Gibson ate the most innings. Of course, they got swept in the postseason. But there are so few real aces around. I don't know that Framber Valdez and Ranger Suarez, two of the guys that they were linked with, would qualify as aces. I mean, they were sort of the best that was out. They were sort of the best that was out there this off season. So, I think that they're going for depth here, and maybe that'll work. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting season, though.
The Alonso signing. I'm a Mets guy. Obviously, I love him. In that ballpark, I got to think if he stays healthy, he's good for at least 40. And he does drive in a lot of runs. Just Alonso added to that lineup. How big do you think the impact's going to be?
I think the impact is going to be very, very large. And there's another impact hitter that they added to that lineup, too, that nobody's talking about, and that's Taylor Ward, who's another 30-plus home run guy. So I think if this team is healthy, and you have Ward, and you have Alonso, and you have Jordan Westburg if he's healthy, Gunnar Henderson, Colton Cowser if he's healthy, Rutschman if he's healthy, I think you could have a team that hits 250 home runs this year. And they may have to outslug a lot of teams to win games in this division. So I think that the Alonso signing was very, very huge, especially because we didn't really sort of see first base as a position of need. I thought that they could have gotten by with either Kobe Mayo or Ryan Mountcastle, but they decided, well, Alonso was available, they're going to go for him. And I think it looks like a really interesting signing. He seems like a very good guy. The few times we've gotten to be around him.
I mean, obviously, taking injuries out of the equation, is there still a spot? Is it the bullpen? Is there still a spot where you're worried, most worried, I guess I should say, about this roster right now?
Well, the thing that would worry me right now would be if Adley Rutschman didn't bounce back. I think for the Orioles to win, they need a big season from Adley Rutschman. Rutschman was really good in 22, 23, in the first half of 24. Since then, he's not been very good, offensively at least. Last year, he had 2 oblique strains, one on the left side, one on the right side, and the team was not very good.
So I think that if they don't have a big season from him, that would be worry number one. Worry number two would be the bullpen. But I think the Orioles have shown ingenuity. They've been able to use players that we didn't think necessarily were really good at in the pen. Maybe some of these excess starters, like Tyler Wells, will be moving to the pen, and the Orioles won't have to necessarily pick up anybody else. They may be a little short on the left-handed side of things, but I think that Ryan Helsley should be good for them. Andrew Kittredge, but I think that they need a little more. Having Wells in there would be would be a good move, I think, and that's where the Chris Bassett signing really helps, I think.
Rich Dubroff covers the Orioles and Major League Baseball for BaltimoreBaseball.com. BaltimoreBaseball.com. Follow him on X at Rich Dubroff, Dubroff.
One thing, guys, it's Rich Dubroff MLB.
Oh,
on
sorry, my bad. Rich Dubroff.
No, that's it might be a burner. It might be one of those burner accounts. That's
gotcha.
Wrong.
All right. My apologies. Are they going to start? Because all right, they've shown this ownership group this offseason showed, hey, we said we were going to spend money. They've spent money. Okay, 2 starting pitchers, 2 guys to the lineup. They spent some cash, but they haven't locked up any of these young guys, have they? Do you think is this?
They did. They locked up Samuel Basayo, who was their 21-year-old catcher. They locked him up last August for 8 years and $67 million. So that certainly was a start. Now that's a unique situation because he was only 5 days into his major league career, but that was their first. That was their first big extension. As for the other guys, Gunnar Henderson,
right,
Russman, and Westberg, Hauser, none of them had great years last year. So I think it was in both parties' interests not to sign extensions. I would have been surprised had they signed extensions. And of course, there's the specter of Scott Boras, because Scott Boras represents Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holliday, and Jordan Westberg. And we know that he's not, if his clients want an extension, he won't stand in their way. He'll negotiate for them, but generally his recommendation is to wait. I would be very, very surprised if, for example, Gunnar Henderson signed an extension. I mean, I think it would have to be, mind-blowing money. So my advice to fans, to Orioles fans, is to enjoy this season. This is a very big season for the team because this group is getting towards free agency. So enjoy this season and let's see what happens. And then after the season, they can think about they can think about the long term.
Well, we're telling that to all baseball fans because we're pretty sure there's not going to be a lot of baseball in 2027. So this is a hell of a year to enjoy the game on all fronts because, well, not just Baltimore, but everybody's going to have, we think, a work stoppage in 27. I saw the Fangraphs number at 84. If you were a betting man, would you go over or under that number for this team?
I think that's a pretty good. I think that was a pretty good number because I was thinking, before they signed Bassett, it would be, in the low 80s. So the interesting thing in looking at the Fangraphs numbers was where they had the Yankees ahead of the Blue Jays, and I thought, well, other than losing Bo Bichette, maybe that could turn out to be a huge loss for them. I would still have the Blue Jays ahead of the Yankees, but they had them tied with the Red Sox with 84. So I would think I'm right around that. Sorry to hedge here, but
no, that's fair enough.
I really think that's right. I think that's right around what I'd look for this year.
Rich, thanks for your time and your insight. We really appreciate it. Okay. Enjoy Bradenton, Sarasota, and the West Coast, and safe travels.
Okay, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
Rich Dubroff covers the Orioles and Major League Baseball for BaltimoreBaseball.com, BaltimoreBaseball.com. Follow him on X at Rich Dubroff MLB. Rich Dubroff MLB. Here's my thing on the Orioles, quickly. So they finished last. They had 75 wins. So you think they're not a good team. Remember the first 2 months of last year? They were horrendous. They were 20-something games below 500 before Memorial Day. You look at they played 8 games over 500 for the final 4+ months of the season. That's an 84 win pace or 85 win pace. So what if I make the case that this is really an 84 win team who's added 2 starting pitchers and 2 bats in the lineup?
And the Hard Rock number's 85.5 for what it's worth on their over-under. Let me ask you this, David. If they went over, is 86 enough to get you a wild card?
I don't think so.
What's it going to take? 90?
Well, okay, let me ask you this. You win 86 in the AL East. What place do you think you finished?
Probably 3rd or 4th.
Well, I can't imagine it'd be better than 3rd.
I know it's 3rd or 4th.
For the record, last year, 86 wins would have been 4th. You know, Toronto and the Yankees were both 94 and Boston was 89. Now, you could decide whether or not you think teams are as good, better, worse. We all know injuries can happen, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just, in the AL East alone, that's 2 of the 3 wild cards. So the whole rest of the American League, there was 1 left. Do you think 86 would be enough to get the 1 left?
No, I don't. No, and I want, is 90 the number this year to get you in? I don't know, because I don't think that there's anyone. The Tigers, I think, are the best team in the Central. I do. I think that obviously Seattle's the best team out west, but I wonder about the Red Sox this year.
Now, I will say the 3 wild card teams in the American League last year won 89, 87, and 87 games. So 86 was real close last year. It was a game away from, a tiebreaker to make the playoffs, for what it's worth. So the wild cards were all in the 80s in the American League last year. So, Mark, you may not be too far off. 87 was the number last year to get in. So you're right there.
Right. I mean, and where's Boston this year? I think Toronto, obviously a great year last year. I think they might be better this year, but when you play all those division games, is someone going to dominate inside the division to win enough to separate themselves? Or do we have the Blue Jays, the Yankees, and the Red Sox, all hovering right around the 90 mark?
I like the AL East this year a lot. I mean, you could argue, the Yankees are bringing it back, but like Rich mentioned, they're going to add Cole and Rodon in May to their starting rotation. They didn't, they had Rodon ineffective last year and Cole missed the year. So are they better than 94 just because the pitchers will be healthy? You got Toronto. Bichette's a big loss, but they've added also. Boston.
And their pitching's better in Toronto.
Bregman's a big loss, but they've added 2 bats and a starter. So, I like the East. I think it's really good.
By the way, where's Tampa in all of this?
They're in last. Probably around, they had 77 wins last year. Over under right now, Jays. Throw a half, 77.5 over under.
Under?
I think I'd go under too.
I think I'd go under. And they always overachieve.
Yep. But that division's good. Okay. We're thinking there's going to be 4 teams above 500. Tough to have all 5. Pat Kirwan, NFL Talk next.
American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, Cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Let's talk the big differences between Floormeisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floormeisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floormeisters backs their installer, so if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floormeisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floormeisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floormeisters, just keeping it
Mark
real.
Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine, no more snoring, no more tossing, no more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
Get ready, Southwest Florida. The Southwest Florida Ag Expo is back. Now's the time to save big with the Mega Pass. Your all-in-one ticket to the fun, one low price. Get you one-day admission and unlimited midway rides. Mega Passes available online through February 26th at swflagexpo.com. Don't wait. Grab yours. Get ready for roots, rides, and real fun. Lee County, building a better community through business, sports, and tourism.
Think we only fix windows? Think again. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business does so much more to upgrade your home. We custom build stunning shower and bath enclosures, install sleek glass doors and windows, and can bring fresh life to foggy or cracked panes. Need a glass tabletop or a statement mirror? Yep, we do that too. If it's glass and it's in your home, we're the team to call.
Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Stove up. Wouldn't you like to think there'd be amazing food in heaven? And wouldn't you like to think it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet all the time? God, I hope so. Kind of counting on it, actually. Sure they're not crazy if you're standing in line in heaven complaining, but I mean, I don't think I'll be the only one going, seriously, this is all we got? No, it's not good. Pat's usually connected by now, so.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Halfway home on this Friday the 13th. Thanks so much for being with us. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Lee Spencer, about 35 minutes. Talk NASCAR. Got this Daytona 500 thing going on Sunday. Super Bowl of Racing, Speed Weeks, Great American Race, all that sort of thing. We'll talk to her about it. Lou Merloni, an hour from now. Talk a little Red Sox. We just checked in on the Orioles. Now checking in on the Red Sox. They had some changes. They were a playoff team a year ago. Better, same, or worse? We'll go there with Lou Merloni coming up in an hour's time. Hoping to catch up with Pat Kirwan. Seems to be having trouble reaching Pat. So hopefully we can talk a little NFL at some point in the next half hour. Here on Miller and Moulton.
I needed long answers. I just got my breakfast. They toasted the bagel perfectly. It literally came up. It's warm. It's toasted perfectly. I'm like, this is great. Pat will give some answers. David will ask a question. I can knock down a bagel.
Do you want
the
me
hell?
to just... No.
I'll do the damn show.
I can filibuster. I understand what a crisis this is. It's bagel, right? You said bagel?
I went bagel today, yes.
You've only got like 3 minutes or less where it's perfect.
No, I understand, but I decided instead of going with the bagel first, I put the cream cheese on the bagel, and then I've been going with the Honey Nut Cheerios, and I wolfed down the Honey Nut Cheerios during the break. And even the nurse came in, and I had not seen her since she actually checked me in on the first day. And she's been in once this morning, and she was like, do you want me to not bother you during the show? Because when I saw you, it was Sunday. And I said, no, you're fine. I said, you come in, you want to give me, I said, I've got a co-host. I can turn my mic off for a second. I can answer a question. She was, well, I won't need anything. She was, I'll just hand you pills. I'm like, that's perfect. I'm glad we got this all worked out. I love the fact that this whole floor is worried about this show. David, we have not had this much support from any station that we've ever worked for in the history of Miller and Moulton that I'm getting from the Moffitt Cancer Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's not
100% true.
That is not wrong. Nope. Oh, that's funny. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. We do have a poll question. It's a Valentine's Day poll question, and it's pretty simple. So what are you going with? You going with flowers? You going with chocolate? You going with dinner? Or Valentine? What Valentine?
Wow, 47% of our audience does not have a Valentine. Really?
No wonder the chat room can get grouchy at times. My goodness. Pat Kirwan, kind enough to join us once again. Moving the chains, weekdays on NFL radio. Pat joining us courtesy of Pinchers, Tampa to Key West, all points in between. Pinchers, where you can't fake fresh. So what are you focused on a handful of days post Super Bowl? Where does your mind go?
Oh, well, thanks for reminding me of how boring my life is right now. But
well, you could be getting chocolate, flowers, or dinner. And in Pat's case, I don't know if the Blades have a home game this weekend. He would take his wife to a Blades game.
Well, I will be Saturday night.
So, there you go.
I already gave her the flowers.
Here's a hot dog and a beer.
Yeah, well, I got to be smarter than that. So I already gave her the flowers yesterday with a nice card. And then Saturday, which we've done in the past, we will go out for dinner early. And I will not talk about hockey while having a nice time with her. And then we'll go to the game. And she might say at the end of 2 periods, can we go now? and we will on Valentine's Day.
Outstanding.
That's the only night she can get you to leave after 2, right? That's her
She
only
would
chance.
never ask on any other night, not any other night. But this one she will, and she might say she's having a good time. So who knows? So
Okay.
she actually likes the fights, which scares me a little bit about the combat. We're married 50 years this summer.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
You
That's
gotta
awesome.
be.
Yep.
You're going big, right? You're making plans. You're going big, aren't you?
I don't do anything but what I'm told, bro.
That's why you're going to celebrate.
And
your
neither
50th.
will you two. In
You
fact,
got that
I see
right.
3 of you. All 3 of
That's
you.
right.
Pay
That's
attention.
right.
Here.
That's right. I think combined, the 2 of us are like 43. So, we're working on it. We're working on it.
I went to a bunch of 50th wedding anniversary parties in my time on this earth, and I always thought, God, those people are old. Now I realize, so am I.
All right.
Oh,
so
Lord.
back to your
Hey,
boring life. What is
yes.
it 4 or 5 days after the
So
Super Bowl? What do you-
I spend one day on the game, just like we would do on any Monday or Tuesday. And then I go right to free agency and get myself set up with, I know those guys a lot more than I know the college guys. College guys, really, the Senior Bowl is when I start. But today, I've really been working on quarterbacks 2 days ago, and I finished up where I feel I can go to the combine and know who I want to talk to. That's step one. And I'm in the middle of the running backs right now, and just finished up Coleman, the Washington kid, and I just finished up Johnson from Nebraska. So I will get a chance to interview a ton of players at the combine. And so I don't want to waste my interviews. Now I got questions as I see guys, certain things jump out at me that I need to find out more about. So preparing to interview players is what I'm doing right now. And after that, yeah, that's how this goes. And then you come home, you've got a skeleton opinion of what a guy is, and then you go watch the tape with your notes in front of you. So that's how this goes.
Is that very much different than what you did when you were working in a front office? And is it very much different than what the front offices are doing right now? A combination of getting ready for the combine, getting their board, starting to get their boards at least, put together, with that free agency always lingering on the other side.
Yeah, and free agency comes before the draft, so you have to take them in the order that they come at you. What's the difference, really, is your question. A lot of the stuff is procedural the same way, except I'm not drafting anybody. And so the depth of what I do is different than what I'm going to converse with the callers and with you guys and everything else. So when you're in it, you really, know your needs. And let's say it's running back. I'm probably going to do 15 running backs. And there's a lot more running backs. Now, I have 14 running backs that are not at the combine that have some. If I was in the league, I'd be looking to take, because we all talk about getting good running backs late in the draft or college free agents. You'd have to really cover all those guys. But I can't, there's no way I can do it, because hopefully tomorrow afternoon I would start on the wide receivers. But just to get ready for the combine, it's a position a day. Do the math. If I started already and I have enough days to get me to the combine. And my hope is that I'm going to interview 60 guys and I will be prepared to really talk to them about certain things.
You and I were talking earlier in the week, and we were kind of looking at free agency. This doesn't seem to be a great year for teams that need to fill needs through free agency. It seems as if teams really have their act together and they got the really good players under contract.
That is true. So just by going through and projecting, you always start at the top and work down. So how many guys would get franchise tags, right? The exclusive players that are out there that you might want to protect. I don't think there's more than 5 or 6 in the whole league. And we did have a great laugh when we discussed that, because I don't think we arrived at any defensive guys. So yes, as the cap grew, which David always likes to talk about, people took advantage of the cap growth and locked up their good players. Now, They also locked up some bad players, Mark, where now they're looking at contracts they don't like, which then I would suspect there'll be some cap casualties. Pretty good players, but not worth the money you paid them. So when they get knocked out and put on the street, now you're talking about getting a guy at a different price, and all of a sudden his value changes where you kind of like those guys.
All right. While there may not be the high-end free agent, Pat, you brought it up before the Super Bowl of just what a great job Vrabel and the New England staff did of getting free agents who may have not fit the great quality, but fit what they needed. So obviously there's a method to doing this right. Is there enough players? The Raiders have a bunch of money. There are plenty of teams that have money out there, and looking at what the Patriots did of trying to emulate that this offseason.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of room to enhance a bad roster. Remember, New England a year before was not very good. So they went out and got good players and fundamentally better as a group than they were individually in many cases, which made them a good defensive line, pretty good. Not the line like Seattle, which we all witnessed. But so since I'm on running backs, think about this. So I do like, and I saw the two Penn State kids at the Senior Bowl. I didn't see the two Notre Dame kids. That's why I'm working on all that stuff. But Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, and Kenneth Walker are free agents. Now, Walker might get franchise tagged. I'd tag him. But you got to start weighing out, do I want to take a 25-year-old Breece Hall, who I know who he is, and pay him big money, or do I want to take a draft pick? Now, I'm inclined to think about the draft pick, but, someone's going to weigh that out. So good draft and running back, pretty good free agent class. That should hurt the free agents.
We got about 30 seconds. What are the Jets doing? They're not going to have a really good quarterback. Shouldn't they pay Breece Hall and work him, use him? Okay, they need somebody.
Yes. The answer, in my opinion, is yes. But do they want to franchise tag them? The franchise tag for the running backs is $14.5 million. And here's the problem. I know Mark and I've talked about this. The second I put a tag on a guy, he basically knows I just told you what your dollar value is. He didn't have to say a word to me. I franchise tag you, and now you're thinking, and your agent, you're worth $14.5 million a year. Let's do a deal for $15 million a year for 3 years. That's what happens.
He's Pat Kirwan. NFL Radio's moving the chains. More with Pat on the other side.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. FloorMeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Get ready, Southwest Florida. The Southwest Florida Ag Expo is back. Now's the time to save big with the Mega Pass. Your all-in-one ticket to the fun, one low price. Get your one-day admission and unlimited midway rides. Mega Passes available online through February 26th at swflagexpo.com. Don't wait. Grab yours. Get ready for roots, rides, and real fun. Lee County, building a better community through business, sports, and tourism.
This is Miller and Moulton.
How we doing, Pat?
Wow, I'm doing great. You look great.
I feel honestly, Pat, I feel really good. I really do. Everything's been going well. When I wasn't on Tuesday was awful. I got the fever.
The heavy dose.
I got a fever. The two big chemos were Monday, Tuesday. I got a fever from the chemo on Monday, and I felt like crap for about, 24 hours. I mean, I pretty much just slept. But I came out of it on Wednesday and felt pretty good. Tuesday was the only show I missed.
Yeah, I know. I keep a tab on you. It is quite remarkable what you are doing. And it's, I think there are people in the hospital that just realize if you can do that, I can get up out of the bed today.
Yeah.
So,
it's hilarious, Pat. They literally, all of these nurses work around this show. It is absolutely effing hysterical. They don't come in between 6 and 10. The doctors don't come in between 6 and 10.
Well,
my 10 to 11 is usually pretty busy around here.
I would say down in the cafeteria, they're talking about you. Like, that guy's up there doing his radio show in this hospital. It's awesome. Good for you. I mean, you tell me, the endorphins, like, it just is good for you.
They I interview people for a living, so it's not like I don't talk about them. But I ask the nurses, I'm like, what should I be doing? And they're like, eat 3 meals a day, walk. And even the physical therapist that came in, he goes, I love that your lights are always on. A lot of the rooms are dark. People just lay around. I just, even when I'm watching TV, the lights are on. I try to make it, I just.
Now, we could just get an Xbox in here so you could practice your golf.
Oh,
you'd be playing
a putting green would be nice.
Yeah,
we got to get you one of those nets, right?
So
you can
I'll
just
take the simulator. Right, Buck's got that simulator. I don't know if I got enough room to set it up in here.
Well, be careful. Bruce Kozlett had a net in his office because he was a golfing fool. And he was away something, and Pete and I went in there. And by the time we got done, there were holes in the ceiling when we missed the net.
No!
Yeah, we missed the net and jammed golf balls right into the roof.
Oh,
but I found out, Pat, because I have like a discharge class that I had to take. I can't even after the 2 months that I'm up here close by, when they send me home, I guess I'm not allowed to play golf for at least another 3 months. So they don't want me on. I don't know if it's the pesticides. I'll ask, but there's a reason behind it. They don't want me on a golf course for at least 6 months.
Yeah,
because it was like hunting, fishing, golfing. I'm like, hunting and fishing, I get dead animals. I get that. Golf, but
no, I think it's got to be the fertilizers and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
So the pond on 9, which used to be 18.
Yep.
Right below my house here. That they had it. From the cold weather, they had well over 1,000 fish die in that pond. No one could believe how many fish. And the breeze blew the fish to the shoreline right on the fairway. And there are, I would say, 200 of those white birds in the water eating. And there's got to be 1,000 buzzards on the beach. I was going to
say the buzzards are everywhere, right?
They don't go in the water. They wait for the fish to come to them. They're like lazy as can be.
Oh, those things are awful.
Oh, it's so even the other day they had guys out there with garbage bags filling them up with fish. They woke up and came down this morning and there's more dead fish out there. Yeah. Crazy. Well, you're kind of inspiring to me, and I love all those pictures behind you.
Yep.
Nice. And I like you guys don't have the little curtain on your brakes. It's like you always pull that curtain down when you go to commercial. Not now. I should get you a ski mask. So you just put a ski mask on when it goes to commercial.
That's funny.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Our remaining moments with Pat Kirwan. Lee Spencer joins us in 15 minutes. We look ahead to the Daytona 500, weather permitting, Sunday afternoon. And then Lou Merloni will join us at the top of the hour. Little Red Sox talk as spring training is underway in Florida and Arizona. So Carr is thinking about a comeback, but now it's only with a good team. Was he ever a good enough quarterback to be able to set rules like that, in all seriousness? I mean, maybe early in his career before he got hurt, but I mean, can David Carr or Derek Carr, I'm sorry, get him confused. I mean, can he really say, well, I'll come back, but only with a good team?
No, but that's how he is. Nice guy. He wasn't that good, to your point. So what does that say to me when he says things like that? He might as well wait till a big injury happens to a starter on a good team. Then all of a sudden he might look like appealing. But if he thinks he's going to get a job with real money in it early, I don't think so. I think look, everything's relative. Like you always like to talk about Minnesota. If they really started to privately think we might have made a mistake, then maybe they would do it. They already lost their GM for making a mistake on Sam Darnold, so that's a potential. But coaches are universally the same kind of guys most of the time. You think coaches want to hear that? Oh, you only want to be here if we're good. Oh, you're going to tell us if we're good? And someone who calls them and says, we think we're pretty good, except for the quarterback, got a good defense, can run the ball. Oh, well, no, I don't think you're that good. So, no, I'm not interested in you. That stuff adds up to like, who do you think you are?
And I don't know if David may have asked you this on Tuesday, so I apologize if I'm repeating it for the audience. But the two names being talked about in trades, one on offense, one in defense, Crosby and A.J. Brown. Now, I think I think you and I at least agree, Pat, that Crosby's not getting moved. A.J. Brown seems, you study the contracts, it seems very difficult to move him with the contract. Do you think he'll get traded this offseason?
Well, I think someone like New England, and the guy coached A.J. Brown, right? He coached him, and he probably has complete control of what they're going to do. And he just lost a Super Bowl, and his receiver group doesn't look that good. I think you could see it happening there, and I'm sure Mike Vrabel would guarantee that he'll be great here. Then you get down to discussing, we're willing to give you some picks, but you got to pick up part of this money. That kind of thing happens. But I do think he could be a Patriot. And I think Bob Kraft would let him have him, and Bob would understand that we need this kind of guy. And I don't think anybody else has the clout that Vrabel has in order to clear the path to take a guy that is potentially a problem.
They need him, though. I mean,
yeah, they do.
If it's not him, then Waddle. I mean, who they've got to get somebody. They probably need to draft one in the first two rounds, but they also need, they got to go get a number one, number two receiver, or their guys are literally just guys. I mean, who else is out there that they can get besides, Brown and Waddle?
Well, let's start with free agency. This will take 30 seconds. It's not a big group. George Pickens. Now you have a problem guy that you don't know, right?
And you got to pay him multiple years, lots of money.
Yep. Mike Evans.
If he's not franchised.
Yep. Mike Evans isn't coming. Juwan Jennings, the next. Alex Pierce. Stop me if you love him. Rashid Shaheed, Christian Kirk, Wan'Dale Robinson, Romeo Dobbs, Calvin Austin, Deebo Samuel, Jalen Naylor, Kendrick Bourne.
Wow, this is a bad free agent wide receiver. I mean, I like Pierce from Indianapolis. I think he's a good player, but not the money he's going to want.
No, and they're not ones. See, I think when you guys talk, you're saying they need a guy that's going to command coverage, and when you don't throw double coverage on him, you hit him every time, and he's a big-time player. Those are not ones.
No, but I could argue that their wide receiving core is a bunch of 3s and 4s. I mean, how many of those guys are better than what they have? I think you rattled off a half a dozen guys. I don't think they're commit 3-4 years and huge money to, but if you say to them, listen, you come here, you'll pay you decent money short term, and we might go back to a Super Bowl. I mean, no.
I think that's who Stephon Diggs is. Now, maybe you say goodbye to Diggs. I'm not sure of that. That was an interesting risk by Mike Vrabel to go take that guy. He's got great history, talent, but he's older, but he's also volatile, and he's already got a problem, right, that he's dealing with off the field. So you might have to just be replacing him, to your point, and then maybe all of a sudden Alex Pierce looks pretty good. But it's not a terrific group. And
is the tight end group any better? I mean, I know it's going to be shallower, but is that because there's not a lot of tight ends in the draft that are going to, I mean, I think there's one guy projected to be a first round tight end. So can you even go that route, Pat?
Well, stop me if you love him. Dallas Goedert, Kyle Pitts, David Njoku, Isaiah Likely, Cade Otton. I kind of like Cade Otton. Charlie Kolar, Zach Ertz, Tyler Higbee, Noah Fant. Now we're into the backups.
Yeah, so, I mean, the Pitts thing's interesting, but he's so underwhelmed in the NFL.
Right. And I think they probably, with the cheap franchise tag on tight ends, Matt Ryan was the quarterback when they had this kid. Matt Ryan knows Pitts better than anybody. And Matt Ryan's pulling all the strings now. You know that Kevin Stefanski likes tight ends. He was in love with Njoku. And I thought he was never going to keep Njoku, and he loved him, and he paid him and everything else. But there's Njoku on the list.
Do you take the risk for Jordan Addison? This year's the fourth. I think they'll pick up his 5th year. This year's year 4. Next year would be year 5. He's like $2 million this year, $17 million next year. But we all know he's got some issues. He may not be a 1, but he's a terrific 2.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player, but you're either in the risk-reward business or you're not. And he is a risk-reward guy. He's got a lot of stuff that he continuously acts, I'll call it immature. So that was immature when he was trying to get to the point where he was going to earn the big money. Now you're going to hand him the option year at $17 million. He was doing all this stuff when he was making $1 million. With 17, I got to think we could have a bigger problem. He'll get a faster car. He likes to race cars.
Oh, unfortunately, he does.
Mark, would you buy him?
No, I wouldn't. If I'm New England, I'd go Pierce before I'd go Addison. I would. I might look at whether it's Njoku or Pitts and try to improve my tight end room and go that route. But they definitely, and Pat, we'll get into it as the combine comes closer. They're going to have to draft a wide receiver. Have to.
Yeah, they will.
And we watched good wide receivers this year, like the kid in Tampa started out great. It's tough to do it as a rookie for 17 games.
It is tough to do, and you get exposed, especially when the other veteran receiver goes down. Mike Evans is out. The Penn State guy hasn't come back fully, and all of a sudden you're looking at the rookie or the freshman, as I call him, and he can't handle all that work. So it's very delicate. But what came out of this conversation today? Weak free agent class, and I'll report back to you after the combine and tell you what I really think of the strength of the draft. But you got a lot of money year in and year out. You can lock up a lot of players.
Pat Kirwan, NFL Radio's Move of the Chains, which is weekdays 3 to 7. And during the season, he's part of CBS's NFL Today show. He joins us courtesy of Pinchers, Tampa to Key West, all points in between. Pinchers, where you can't fake fresh. Pat, have a great weekend. Celebrate your Valentine's Day, your Blades hockey, and, we'll talk next week.
Tomorrow's the first Saturday since August that I'm not doing a show at 2:00 in the afternoon. I can't wait.
Pat Kirwan and all our guests joining us on the American Paint Supplies Hotline.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer, so if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. FloorMeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Got a cracked window or foggy glass? Don't wait for the next storm to make it worse. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business is just down the road and ready to help. From leaky frames to shattered panes, we've got the tools and the know-how to get your home or business storm ready. With flexible scheduling and our done right promise, you'll be in good hands. So before or after the weather hits, call your neighbors at Glass Doctor.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor. We fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
This is Miller and Moulton.
I will have this next guest on time.
That's all right. We're flexible. Larry, all I can tell you about Jim is that it was not performance related.
Ryan Four, happy to help with the fish introduction to the kid. I did it with my daughter. She likes other stuff, but her favorite fish song is Stash.
Nice. How old's your daughter?
She's 13 now. She's playing guitar and is into punk rock now.
Yes, Spitz,
But
it
she's
was.
doing shows with the School of Rock in Naples.
Gotcha.
She's getting good. She played me a whole Stone Temple Pilots song the other day.
Oh, wow. Yes. Because I need the health care. Yeah. Haven't had employer health care in 10 years. So our health care is a fortune. So and at 60 years of age with health issues, it would be a game changer.
Thanks, Super Joe. I'm about to leave a voicemail for Lee here.
Okay. I leave the number for her to call in on. I'm not full time. I'm not an employee. Did you leave the hotline for her to call in?
Well, I don't know the hotline. I left him the regular line.
Yeah, that's the number, David.
Okay.
There is no hotline.
Gotcha.
There's
Sorry.
no such thing. That doesn't exist.
I'll try him again in a minute.
It's her. It's her, by the way.
Oh, all right.
It's one way to look at it, Spitz.
This has been good. I got a nurse's visit in one break. I got the
I saw that.
Physician's assistant in that break. She's like, I was in Monday. I'm like, I don't remember you at all.
Right. I had a couple of them.
Not at all.
Yeah, left to
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. Lou Merloni scheduled to join us then. We'll talk a little Red Sox. Hoping to talk a little Daytona here with Lee Spencer, but we'll see. She's busy. Covering NASCAR a long time, Lee Spencer. All right. Races went late last night. So field is set. Let's go. Sunday afternoon.
You know, we had a poll question yesterday about the Olympics. And no one's watching. I get it. But, outside of the hockey, I have one love in these winter games.
Right.
It's curling.
Correct.
And the Americans gave us such a wonderful start. The mixed doubles team medaling for the first time in the history of that event. We've never medaled before. The men's team sucks.
Uh-oh.
I mean, sucks. We got blown out by, I think, Sweden yesterday. And I mean blown out. So much so that they subbed in, I want to say he was 54 years old, like the oldest Winter Olympian ever, subbed in to throw a stone, which that's cool. Then we played Canada today, just as bad. Got our doors blown off.
Wow.
So
we were never this bad, but I mean, when you were, on
when
the
I was
team
sweeping in Lillehammer,
right? You guys weren't this bad, right?
We need our Herb Brooks.
Is that what we need?
We need our Herb Brooks.
Huh. Well, you're the curling guy. You're going to have to tell me, who's the Ben Johnson, who's the hot guy out on the,
right.
The number one assistant of Sweden. You tell me who it is. Who do we have to go get?
Need to do something.
Isn't this what we keep trying in soccer?
It really is.
We throw a couple of our guys in there. They do okay, but then we go, what we really need? Okay, we need, the guys around the world who played at the high level. They know what winners look like. We bring them in. Sometimes it's okay.
We've got months before we disappoint the country again with soccer, David.
Oh, man. Oh. You are going to dog the hell out of them, aren't you?
Well, it's funny. There's a few people that I know that are into it. and they always have high expectations. They've tempered their expectations, but they have, first off, now that they've added 9 million teams to this,
you're right.
The group we're in is ridiculous.
Yes,
we should get out of group without a problem.
To the point where if we don't get out of group, we maybe should just say, you know what, we're just not good enough.
Right. Let's spend money on something else.
Correct.
But then it's winning a few games after that, because, when you look at the money that's being spent in the transfer market to get somebody, we just had a guy go to, I think, La Liga, and, a U.S. guy, couple in the, we actually have some good players now.
Yes, I know.
We have a team in which you go, these guys could get to a quarterfinal. I'm not expecting anything more than that. But I think the expectations of a quarterfinal are realistic as the host nation.
Well,
they set it up for you as the host nation.
Right. We made a quarterfinal before.
I understand.
No, and I'm not talking like 1950, but I think it was 2006. I think we made a quarterfinal against Germany. We actually, if there was VAR, all right, in that quarterfinal, we would have had a 1-0 lead in the second half against Germany. Okay. There was a handball on the box, okay, by Germany. I mean, we would have gotten a penalty kick. We would have scored. We were actually taking it to Germany for a half in a World Cup quarterfinal. And my question is, how come we've never been able in 20 years to be good enough to get back to that point?
That's, when you have the Germanys and Spain and, some of the nations that are out there, to get to a semi would be a huge upset. The Netherlands,
shocking.
Italy,
right.
England. I mean, you can sit there and name all the great soccer nations. I didn't even mention a South American country. So, to get to a semifinal seems to me unrealistic. But to get to a quarter,
it's winning one, right? Only 16
I think 2 now.
Oh, really?
No, because you've added all these teams. So
32 advance?
David, don't quote me. But we added all these nations, so you're obviously adding teams, you're adding groups. So yeah, I think so.
Wow. All right, but yeah,
enough of that.
We gotta just. Can you get to a quarterfinal? That'd be nice.
I gotta be honest with you though. That conversation with Pat has me concerned for a lot of teams if they're in need of skill positions this offseason. Just talking about New England there. This was a team that went to the Super Bowl, and we watched just how outgunned they were from a receiver and tight end standpoint. Well, if the quick homework I did, and I've not dove into the draft yet, there's one tight end that's expected to go in the first round. So it's not like it's been the past couple of years where there's been a couple of guys. Not sure about the receiver, haven't really gotten into it yet. But if that's the tight end list of free agents and that's the receiver list, first off, Pickens could get franchised by Dallas anyhow. That's a small list of guys out there, which could get to what you love, David. If you're in need of a good receiver or a good skilled guy come draft day, are you willing to trade your draft picks for a proven commodity?
Well, the new Dolphins GM has all but announced, if you really read between the lines, has all but announced, call me and make me a really good offer involving draft picks, and you can have who you want. He's on the record as saying, quote, I love draft picks, unquote. If somebody offers him a 1 and a 3 for Waddle.
Oh, I think that's done.
Okay. Well, then Let's line up the teams. First off, does it become a bidding war between the Patriots and the Bills?
Let me just ask you. First off, it's an interdivision trade, which is tough to do, but not impossible. If you were trading with the Patriots and they were offering you a 1 and a 3, and I know the whole thing last year with the Bills was when they were getting the 1. Would you take a shot and take the Patriots 27-1?
Yes.
Instead of the 26-1? Because I would.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I might make the 1 and a 3 a 1 and a 2.
If I could, I would.
And
absolutely.
I'll take your second rounder this year, okay, and your first rounder in 27. Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. The only way the pick will be worse in 27 is if they win the Super Bowl in 26.
Well, right. But I mean, I think there's a chance it could be in the teens.
Well, it's certainly possible with that schedule. There's no question. It's a significantly tougher schedule. I mean, like 4 games tougher than this year's schedule was.
I won't hold you to it. We're nowhere near August. But you had to bet $20 on the Patriots to A, make the playoffs next year, B, miss the playoffs. I'd vote B.
I'd vote A, but I'd vote, if they win the division, they won't be a 2 seed. They'll be lower. And if Buffalo returns to winning the division, then, they're going to be 6-7. They're going on the road.
If they make the playoffs. I mean,
right.
I think we're looking at, didn't we have a long run there of teams that lost the Super Bowl that didn't even make the playoffs the following year?
Right.
I think the Patriots, I'm willing to put it out there right now that the Patriots don't make the playoffs next year.
Interesting. Because of the Chiefs and the Eagles the last few years, that mold has been broken. The 2 times Kansas City, although they missed the playoffs, they lost the Super Bowl last year and missed the playoffs this year.
Right.
But, the Eagles, after losing the Super Bowl, came back and made the playoffs. And, the Chiefs, after they lost to the Bucs, came back next year and won the Super Bowl. So there was a long roll where the team that lost the Super Bowl didn't even make the playoffs the following year. The hangover was real. But, Mark, what I think you're getting at is teams are going to have to make trades for weapons.
Yes.
That the free agent class, barring some people getting released here. Like, I happen to really like Goddard. Okay. And I think for whatever reason, it seems like the Eagles are going to move on from Goddard. Well, I think he's the top 10 tight end in the league for sure. I would have no problem paying him short term.
And I wouldn't argue with that one bit. But is getting Goddard, that's not enough.
No. But I mean, if you're New England,
it's an upgrade. No, I'm with
right.
you.
I think he's better than Hunter Henry, and Henry was the best receiver that they had, at least the receiver that Drake May was most comfortable with. But I think Goddard's better at this stage of Henry and Goddard's career. Close, but I think he's better. Like Pat mentioned, Jawan Jennings is a wide receiver. He ain't a 1. He's a decent 2. Okay, maybe. But I think he's better than every wide receiver New England has, except maybe 1. Okay, so to me, if I'm, replacing 1 or 2 guys and Jawan Jennings is one of the guys I'm replacing them with, I've made the room better. And maybe that's all New England can do this year is just, take the room from a 3 and make it a 5.
And I know I'm going out on a limb because the fact of the matter is that the Patriots should be at worst 4-2 in the division. That means you get swept by Buffalo, by the way. And right.
I mean, both
you
teams
split with Buffalo, they could, if they split, they both should be 5-1.
Right.
Now you got to find 5 more wins and you're a playoff team.
Right.
Because I think the Dolphins and Jets, and so does Vegas, by the way, they think they're going to be awful. The Cardinals, Jets, and Dolphins, the worst odds to win the Super Bowl next year.
Once again, the Patriots' schedule, take the division games off the list. NFC North, AFC West, at Jacksonville, home for Pittsburgh, at Seattle. Those are the 11 games that are not AFC East games. Again, NFC North, everyone finished above 500. AFC West.
You get the Raiders.
Now, the Raiders beat them last year.
Well, it's a revenge game.
But yes. And obviously, you're thinking Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to be better this year than last. And then, since it's a first place schedule instead of a fourth place, home for Pittsburgh, although they hosted Pittsburgh this year and lost.
Should have won. They turned it over 5 times. That was one of the worst games the Patriots played all year.
No question. And in fact, they only lost one game after that. They were 1-2 and only had one loss between then and the Super Bowl. At Jacksonville, at Seattle. So this year's team playing that schedule would win 11?
Oh, no way.
Okay.
No way.
Okay.
9?
Oh, okay. So it then tells you if you're New England, let's just say they self-scout and they believe if this year's team played that schedule, they'd go 10-7. Let's split the difference. Okay. So how much better do you have to be then if you're New England? How much more do you have to improve the roster if right now you look at your team and you go, well, we're going to go 10-7 next year unless we get better?
I mean, just look at the quarterbacks they played a year ago to the quarterbacks they're going to play next year.
Well, also, I think they ended up playing 11 games against teams whose coaches were fired. And that didn't even include the Jets. So, one of those years, it really did line up for New England the way it lined up for Washington the year before. We saw what happened. Washington had a bad offseason. Then, obviously, their quarterback got hurt. And unlike Chicago the year before, remember Chicago lost the Hail Mary game, fell apart. Washington had the late fumble, lost at home to Chicago this year, and fell apart. So
Miller and Moulton, 3 hours in the books. Poll question up at Miller_Moulton. We will switch gears, talk a little baseball. The Red Sox with Lou Merloni. That's next on the Diamond District Bonus Hour.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Cape Coral Police Department is growing and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000 depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. capecops.com. Be brave, be best. Be Cape.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. FloorMeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
At the Diamond District, we've built our inventory since day one.
We never pass on beautiful jewelry. For years, we've chosen exceptional diamonds and fine jewelry.
And when you buy with love for 2 decades,
your vault fills with extraordinary jewelry. That's why we're emptying the vault now through Valentine's Day. Enjoy rare pricing on jewelry chosen to celebrate love, connection, and commitment.
Will you be mine? Starts with diamonds from the Diamond District. Hablamos Español.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Hey, Southwest Florida, Jimmy the Beef Guy here. For you that haven't tried us yet, you gotta get in here and try my favorite 5 Chicago-style sandwiches. I got the Italian beef, I got the Italian sausage, the sausage and beef, the Maxwell Street Polish, and our soon-to-be famous breaded steak. Call us at either one of our locations in Bonita Springs and Fort Myers. And guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced jardiniere.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Yes, stove up. There is, like skiing. There's a luge season. Okay, I think it's all in Europe. I don't even think they come to Lake Placid and do events anymore. I'll say this: I did luge and bobsled, working for a local TV station, and CBS was televising the Olympics, and if you go to Lake Placid and day in the life and that sort of thing, and then they put you in the it's one thing in the bobsled. I was the third guy in a 4-man bobsled. I mean, sit there, hold on tight. The luge, frightening, because it's just you and the sled. And they only let us do this bottom half of the track, but they charted your speed. And at one point I was going over 40 miles an hour on my back, trying to steer with my feet with a helmet and elbow pads on. Golly, it's frightening.
Did you see the clip of the skier that caught the gate in the crotch?
No.
Oh gosh, it's pretty. I mean, it's awful, but funny.
Right.
Does Denver need a number 1 receiver? I don't know.
I think you need a running back.
Yeah,
Stop
I mean,
it.
I think their receiver room turned out to be better than we thought.
You need a running back. Can't count on J.K. Dobbins. I'm sorry, he gets hurt every year. Same thing happens. And Harvey, the UCF kid, no, you need a dude. Go get a dude.
Gotten tired here. I think there's a nap in my future.
Oh, isn't that great?
Taking this, I'm taking this, leaving this.
I just had to leave a message for Lou.
The heck?
I know. Wow.
The new engineers are in here checking things out.
Aren't they just knocking it down?
Well, they got to take stuff. I mean, I think they got to see what they may want, because
Gotcha.
the Comrec stuff has to go. They don't have that over there. They need that.
Gotcha.
You texting him, or do you want me to?
Oh,
I'll text him.
I left the number on his voicemail.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is the Diamond District bonus hour, final hour on this Friday the 13th. Thanks for being with us. Hope you've had a good week. And it's Valentine's Day weekend. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. It's the focus of our poll question. So what are you doing for Valentine's Day? A little dinner? A little flowers? What's it? Did we say jewelry?
No, it was the flowers, chocolate, dinner.
Sorry.
I don't have a Valentine.
Right. So dinner, flowers, chocolate, or Valentine. I ain't got no stinking Valentine. So there you have it. It's our poll question. That Mark Miller, the David Moulton, Miller_Moulton on X. 35 minutes away from the good, bad, and ugly. What's on tap? And today was the day when. Talking a little spring training baseball. Little Daytona. Not much. Not much. All right. I just hope the darn thing happens on time. Let's do it.
Or early. I mean, the rain's expected. Right. By the way, it is the Diamond District bonus hour. So if you want to win Valentine's Day, well, Jason and Todd, that's your way to win Valentine's Day.
They're winners. They are proven winners. Right.
I've won holidays with them before.
Right.
I've won a Christmas. I don't know if I've never really tried to win Valentine's Day. I don't have that kind of bank. I wish I did. I wish I could walk in there and say, you know what? Let's look at some diamonds for Valentine's Day. I'm more of the, in fact, I'm so cheap. I don't even go to the florist. I go to Publix. Yes. Publix flowers are the best. They last a long time, and economically, they are far better than what you have to pay at any florist. Now, you have to order flowers somewhere. The florist is your go-to because Publix doesn't deliver. Although now with the Instacart and that stuff, you probably could have.
Absolutely, you can. Absolutely, you can. I will say there was a florist a mile and a half from us in which, man, are they cheap, and they have great flowers. I mean, most of the year, because I've actually gotten some. Now, I have to admit, I think I have purchased more flowers from my mother-in-law than for my wife, because my mother-in-law is very happy when she gets flowers, Mark.
Most women are.
Right, except my wife. Right. So, Mother's Day, occasional, you know what, I think she needs a pick-me-up. Excellent flowers, very cheap. Like most of the year, outside of like around the big flower holidays, at most $14.99 a dozen. Between $9.99 and $14.99 a dozen roses.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yep. So
and I step up for Valentine's Day with the chocolates. We go over to the Publix and then right across to Miramar to my guy Norman Love. I'll give him a free shout out because that's just so damn good.
Yes, it is.
It is. It's delicious and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
the work they do.
Don't think they take a back seat to anyone.
No, I don't either.
No,
I don't either.
Outstanding stuff. Yep. Miller and Moulton.
Who's your pick? Are you picking Bush? He's on the poll. Are you actually picking him to win?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm picking him. And because I'm rooting for him. I mean, my two guys I'm going to root for are Bush and Chastain. So
I obviously root for Chastain. I'll pick Kyle Larson.
Well, that's a good pick.
He didn't win last night, ran well, and he's really good. And he's not very likable, so usually those are the type of guys to win.
He's never won the 500, by the way. Okay, of the current, like the younger current dudes, Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson are kind of the current, I think, most prominent guys, because Truex never won it, but he's retired. He joins the list of Tony Stewart, Mark Martin, Ricky Rudd, Rusty Wallace, probably the 5 best old timers who never won it.
Tony Stewart, the only guy who never won it and killed a guy.
Yes. Okay. So he's got that going for him. which is nice. Yes, that's an old
It's an
Miller and Moulton
old
thing.
grudge with this show.
Yep.
And boy, did we piss some people off back in the day with that one.
We got that right. Yep. It's kind of like if you're a fan of Matthew Broderick, and I always said, yeah, no, terrific actor. Okay. I like his wife. Killed the guy, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. And got very convenient justice. Yeah. Right.
And his the girl that was with him, that it derailed her career. It messed her up so bad.
Oh yeah. Right.
She was never the same after that.
No, he was fine. No,
yes.
Fine. Picked it, just didn't even miss a beat.
Nope.
No, he was good. So yeah. Matthew Broderick, Tony Stewart. Okay. A couple of guys that Miller, Moulton, Justice, we haven't let off the hook.
No.
So,
no.
We have our quirks. Those are two of them right there. It just, harping on death. I just, it's a character flaw. We know it. Okay.
Back to the poll question right now of chocolate, flowers, and dinner. Flowers is winning with 26%.
Do you think it's because it's easiest?
I don't know. I think, I will get my wife flowers and chocolate, but I think flowers give more initial happiness. My wife, like your mother-in-law, when my wife sees flowers, it's a huge, genuine smile. It makes her happy.
Yep.
Chocolate more long-term, but there's the guilt that comes along. Women eat chocolate and then they feel guilty about it and that type of stuff. So the flowers, there's no guilt. And, we've had a rose bush in our pool cage area for years. And when it springs a red rose and I cut it and put it in a vase, just that alone will make her happy. I usually try to put it on her nightstand. She comes to her bedroom, sees her red rose, and it makes her happy. It's very easy. And except for your wife.
Correct. I was yelled at in advance. I got a lot going on. Okay. I didn't deserve that. And out of nowhere 2 days ago, listen, are you listening? No, I need you to concentrate and listen to me. Okay. I'm listening. No Valentine's Day gifts. You got it? I go, a dozen roses is $15. Okay. I can't get your roses. I love you. Put my name on it. No.
Well, and I remember for years, there was no roses allowed because your cat would eat them.
Well, yeah, right. No, there's always been a damn excuse.
But the cat's not been around forever.
Correct.
I've known you a long time. It's been a long time since the cat was around.
Yeah,
put it this way. We've gone through the cat and the dog since then in your house.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yep. Not allowed. I think I'm going to do it anyway. Because you know what? I didn't like getting yelled at. So,
and that's the way to respond.
Yep. Hey, where's she?
Don't challenge me.
Yep. Seriously? At this stage of the game, where's she going to go? Okay. So what? Be hunked off. Fine. I don't care. I'll put the race on. Leave me alone. All right. Fine.
Miller and Moulton. Pelican Roofing of Florida text line is open. 21,000 is the number. If you've never texted the show before, Miller is the keyword, and then text to your heart's desire. Someone did text about Valentine's Day. What Valentine? Guys, this is the generational thing. Women 45 and under are so disconnected in their working on me season. It makes dating very difficult. Wow. I will say, my son, I've talked to my son about it because my son is like you and I. He'll talk to anyone.
Right.
And he'll be out at the bar with his coworkers, friends, whatever. And he has no problem walking up to a group of girls. And, he goes, my line's been the same forever. Hi, I'm Jake. How are you? And sometimes women will be very nice, and other times they're very cold towards him. Like, why are you walking up to me?
Right.
And
Don't
his
bother me.
friends, particularly now, he's got a couple of coworkers, and one he said, he likes the kid a lot, but he's a couple of years younger, just fresh out of college. And that person is just mesmerized that he can walk up to a stranger or a group of strange women and talk to them. And apparently we have a whole generation of young men and women who apparently just don't want to talk to one another. And that's scary to me.
There are a couple of young ladies in our chat room. Maybe we need to get some feedback from them, get a scouting report as to what the scene is like these days.
The scene?
The scene. Right. How else are you going to describe it? Okay, that's broad. See, that can cover the bar scene, the work scene, the online scene. Okay, swipe right, swipe left, throw the phone on the ground. I mean, it covers the whole scene.
You got that right.
Right. So the scene.
And I'm in a town now. I'm not going to be able to leave and see it, but there actually is a scene. There are lots of young people. There are lots of places to go.
Right. As opposed to a half mile strip in a mall, and then that's
exactly
the scene. Right. So that's all. Just has the scene.
And maybe I'll do more R&D, because a lot of the nurses are either married or boyfriends, because the one that was here last night, she's got dinner plans, and I was just kind of laughing, but I've seen more younger women in the last week than I have in the last 15 years, David.
So Aurora, who is a captivating young lady in our chat room, very positive, very nice to everybody, asked about the scene. She said, I wouldn't know. I'm too into my career scene. But she did say, yeah, we don't do bars. And that it's true. That's another area which hurts guys. There's a lot less drinking going on now. Okay. That probably hurts guys. Less opportunities to meet you. Can't get rid of, outside of Mark's son, can't get rid of our inhibitions. I mean, okay. All right. Good to know. Thanks for the feedback, Aurora. Thank you. It's not like Miller and Moulton know what the scene is.
We didn't even know a scene when we were in one, David.
Right. Okay. It was only a scene if the woman came up to us.
Lou Merloni, just text with him. We'll have him next.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Think we only fix windows? Think again. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business does so much more to upgrade your home. We custom build stunning shower and bath enclosures, install sleek glass doors and windows, and can bring fresh life to foggy or cracked panes. Need a glass tabletop or a statement mirror? Yep, we do that too. If it's glass and it's in your home, we're the team to call.
Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh yeah.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Huh.
So David, Mark said that Lou's good to go now.
Yeah. Yep. So, yep. Give him a jingle in about 4 minutes. Huh. Jeez. It's all new. I got chills.
Yeah, Lou texted like 9:12 with an expletive. I'm sorry, had it on silent in the clubhouse. All right.
Fine. That's fine. 10 minutes is good enough, right?
Absolutely. And the fact that he just left the clubhouse, that, I mean,
Right. Golly.
yeah.
Thank you, Mark. I didn't want a 1 out of 3 on my guest calls.
Yeah.
How you feeling about Sparty tonight?
Wisconsin's been playing a lot better lately. I don't like the way. I mean, Michigan State played good against Illinois. I thought Illinois missed a lot of opportunities. Illinois is good. I hate them. I really hate Illinois.
I do too. God.
I've always hated Illinois. I realized that watching.
Really? Going
Yeah.
back to Henson and
Yeah.
really?
They were a rival of Sparty for a lot of years.
There's no doubt, Nick. Are they good teams?
Yeah, I mean that's it. You know, in basketball, Michigan wasn't a you hate Michigan, but Illinois was a rival. Those were the teams for a lot of years.
I like the friendly rivalry between Sparty and Purdue. Actually,
That's exactly what it is. There's like no hatred there. Just good programs, good teams. Katie and Heathcote got along really well. Somebody in here was calling for Painter to be fired. I'm like, really? Are you kidding me? The other day, someone said that.
Yeah, there's some of that on the Purdue chats too.
Oh, you guys then gotta go get a life. You're nuts. Fire Matt Painter. That's ridiculous.
I'm just saying that someone and I don't know who it was in the chat room that said it. I didn't really acknowledge it.
God. You think you can do better than Matt Painter?
Thank you.
North Carolina.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Good, bad, and ugly. What's on tap? Today was the day when. Some final thoughts, a pick or two. Heading into the first weekend without football in a very long time. Lou Merloni's kind enough to join us. He's busy this time of year because spring training has resumed in Fort Myers, works for the Red Sox and for NESN. You can follow Lou on X at Lou Merloni, Merloni. Lou, it's David and Mark. How are you?
I'm good, guys. I tell you, it's a lot warmer down here than back home where my family stuff. So now it's the beginning of spring training. It's fantastic.
Well, Lou, I know you've been coming down here a lot of years for spring training. No more dog track, but the casino now's got craps and roulette, I think. So, you can get your fix if you need it not too far away. What's your thoughts heading into this season? We know Bregman's gone, and that's a big loss, but did they add enough to replace him? And how high are expectations for this Red Sox team?
Yeah, they added enough to replace him. I think Contreras kind of is like the first base version of Alex Bregman, right? He's a plus defender. He can hit you 20-plus homers and driving some runs and hit the middle of the order. So, like, the production-wise, that's kind of what Bregman was giving you. Now, you can get into the leadership aspect of it, right, where Bregman, I think, was elite. And then you bring in a guy like Durbin, who kind of replaces the professional at bat, right, as far as the contact goes, which is really needed on this team. And he's going to bring plus defense, too, wherever he ends up, whether it's second or third. So, you didn't add the thump that I think a lot of people wanted, but contact, lack of swing and miss was really important as well for this team. And the defense, I think, whether if they're in the corner infield, I think both of them are plus defenders, and you're going to kind of pitch your way through this thing. Their rotation is fantastic right now.
And we'll get to that in a moment, but I want to ask you, as a player and a broadcaster, you've been around young Red Sox players who were supposed to be the dude. Roman Anthony, is he going to be the dude?
Yeah, he's a dude last year. He was 20 years old, and this kid's still growing. I mean, he's stronger this year. Just everything about him just screams superstar, and I think that you're going to see it this year with him. I think the power, we had just started to see it before he had gotten hurt, getting the ball in the air, hitting the ball out of the ballpark. I think you'll continue to see more of that this year. So he's special. Like he's just kind of like a unicorn, when we talk about prospects, and they do so much about the Red Sox up in Boston, everybody is kind of projected to be this or a star or whatever, and that's just not the case. You hope that they're big leaguers and maybe above average big leaguers, but this kid is as advertised. He's a star in this game.
How tough is that for a young player in Boston? I mean, when we were texting there, you said, "I'm sorry, I was in the clubhouse." When you're in the clubhouse, does he have that presence? Because you can see it. You know better than we do just the way a guy carries himself. Does he have that presence?
Yeah, he does. And so even when he came up as a rookie, when he first came up, it's just there's a professionalism to him. Like even just this whole career, like even in high school, like transferring to another high school and living with his dad and kind of away from the family and being that committed to it. He's just a professional guy that the minute he walked in, he just looked like he had been in this clubhouse for a long, long time. And, he was still only 21 years old. So he definitely has that when you just look at him, you see the way he acts, you see the way he walks around. It's just ingrained in him.
Lou Merloni, NESN in Fort Myers for spring training. Follow him on X at Lou Merloni, Merloni. Well, man, the Red Sox were busy. I mean, I know the front office gets a lot of heat. You're not doing enough, this, that, and the other thing. 2 new corner infielders. You brought in 2 new starting pitchers. I mean, you guys are deep, aren't you?
Yeah, and that's the problem with the offseason now with baseball. It's almost like people want to have an NFL free agency mentality to where within a week I want to know what the additions are and we can start talking about what this team is going to look like. Baseball is different. There's ups and downs. There's trying to get this guy, swinging a miss on him, pivot to the next guy. And sometimes the picture can be tough to see as far as like what's being accomplished. So you have to sort of wait this thing out until it's all done. And really, now that it's all done, you can look around and say, Oviedo too. They kept screaming about a number 2 starter when they signed Sonny Gray. Everybody thought that was it. Well, it ended up being Ranger Suarez for 5 years to go with Sonny Gray, to go with Oviedo. So I don't know if it's a finished product. Yes, maybe a bullpen arm. I don't know, but they were busy. And in the end, after all the commotion and the emotion of the offseason, it was a pretty good offseason. They improved the ball club.
What's it going to take? And they should contend for the division, but what, in your estimation, does it take so that when they need that bullpen arm in June and have to go out, get whatever it is that's needed, that they're right there for the division? What's it going to take?
Yeah, I think that's the other part of it too, right? The deadline is another way to kind of fix a hole that you may find out you have in the first month or two, but really it comes down to health. Last year, everything changed when Roman Anthony got hurt. Everything changed when Abreu got hurt. He's another one. If you can get 140 games from him, there's your 30 home run guy. If you can get 140, 45, 50 from Roman Anthony, I think there's your 20-plus home run guy. So it's just health. If this rotation can stay healthy, even with the depth that they have, I expect them to be there in the end. This was, I think, 7th in runs on offense. I don't really see much of that changing. Maybe even be better with some help. So it just always comes down to it. Right? You look around. Right now, everyone's holding their breath. In spring training, the first week or two, like they don't want to lose a guy for the year. I mean, it's just the way the game is right now.
Well, I mean, like you said, the offense was good enough last year, if not great, but it was good enough. Okay, pitching and defense held them back, and they have significantly improved both Ranger Suarez, Sonny Gray in the starting rotation, the 2 corner infielders who are both plus defenders. They have given up a little bit, though. They had a deep farm system. You got to give up quality to get quality, including 2 of the 3 top prospects they got in the Devers deal. Are you okay with what they've given up in the organization to acquire what they've acquired?
Yeah, because you mentioned it, they've given up depth. I think when you think about this Red Sox rotation right now, even going in the offseason, when you think about the additions, and then what is the depth? Well, to me, the depth is still figuring out what Patrick Sandoval's role is here, and Cutter Crawford, and Peyton Tolley and Conley Early. Maybe Conley Early ahead of him. He's more polished, but they didn't give any of that up. You gave up your big league depth in Fitz and Dobbins. Harrison was the guy that they wanted in that deal for Devers. They got him, but they had a pivot. Once they got Ranger Suarez, they created even more depth in that rotation, so they gave up a guy they like to get their third baseman who's under control for the next 5 years. So he's probably at the highest rated arm, even though the other guys, they're big league depth, and I wish those guys all the best, but I'm pretty comfortable with what they gave up.
87.5 is the number on the Hard Rock app. Would you go over?
Yeah, it would. I mean, it's not going to blow away one way or the other. I mean, it's like I said, it's injuries. If you get decimated with injuries and you're in the low 80s, if everybody stays healthy, you're 90, 91, in that range. So, but I think why not? What am I going to do? Sit there and say no? They're not. Everyone's going to get hurt. Take the under.
Lou, thanks for making time for us, especially while you're working. We appreciate it. Enjoy Southwest Florida. Maybe we catch up before opening day.
Sounds good, guys. Looking forward to seeing you.
Lou Merloni, kind enough to join us once again here on Miller and Moulton. Mark, I'd pound the over. They won 89 last year. They've dramatically improved the starting rotation. They've dramatically improved their defense. All right. Roman Anthony gives you, moderately healthy. He'll give you another 2 months than he gave you last year. Okay. They went over that last year. I think they're better this year.
I agree with you. I said that a while ago and kind of got mocked by some people and saying that everybody thought they lost Bregman. We're not as good of a team. Well, I disagree with that. For the reasons you just mentioned. They lost a really good player. I get it. But sometimes addition by subtraction and the sum of the parts is better than the one they lost.
I'll make your prediction. Red Sox finish ahead of the Blue Jays.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know about the Yankees, but I'll just say right now, okay, I think Red Sox finish ahead of the Blue Jays. They only finished 5 back of them last year. So, Miller and Moulton. Good, bad, ugly. What's on tap? Today's the day when coming up.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Cape Coral Police Department is growing and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000 depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to CapeCops.com. CapeCops.com. Be brave, be best, be Cape. Let's talk the big differences between Floormeisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floormeisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floormeisters backs their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floormeisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floormeisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 13325.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Sonny, did you hear his story about how he had opportunities to go to Augusta, but he wasn't going to go until he qualified? Yeah, EB, unfortunately, Lee Spencer blew us off. Yeah. He's fired up about getting her, too. Because she's been in the garage for 40 years.
So we didn't talk about it on air, and there's lots of reasons why we didn't, because no one cares. But I was surprised the other day it didn't make your starting five the list of basketball Hall of Fame finalists.
You know what? I saw it and I hated it.
Fair enough. But anyhow, I saw it. I'm bored. And so I went to my NBA expert, Felipe. And I just texted him. Is Blake Griffin a Hall of Famer? And the future of my calling him my NBA expert
depended
was on that answer. And he's like, top 5 player in the league in whatever year, blah, 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 blah. But in capital letters, no. I was so proud of him. I was so proud of him.
Yeah, I don't think he is either, but
I don't think
I'll bet he gets in.
Do you really think so?
If not this year, you know, I hope not. I think it.
Wow.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
22 minutes till we're done. We're out of here. Week's over for us. We hope you have a great Friday and happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. If you haven't made plans yet, do so. I mean, this hour is brought to you by the Diamond District. They're there. Todd and Jason. You know, you need a late save. Okay. You know, you 2 on, nobody out. You need guys to come in, put out the fire, set you up so you can win. There you guys, Todd and Jason, the Diamond.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. You know, this is we talked about it a little bit yesterday. It was the end of the NBA run and I get the 500s this weekend. I'm not bashing your race. Just hear me out.
Okay.
There's not a lot of sports going on this week.
No, there's Pebble, Daytona, and the Olympics.
But I mean, niche sport. Like, seriously. I mean, the Olympics are a niche sport. I mean, racing is, golf is.
Listen, I think it makes it so the 500 needs to have really good ratings. Like if I'm NASCAR and I can't get, and I know it's the Olympics, but if I can't get a good number, if the race is not preempted in any way, if the race window is the race window, and they can't get a good number,
what's a good number for the 500? And I'm asking.
I'd need a minute.
Okay, fair enough, because you know, like college basketball's done well. Yes. And last night, you know, here we are with really nothing going on, and the college basketball schedule was dreadful. ESPN2 had Green Bay on. Gottlieb's team was on ESPN2 in primetime. That's the best they could do last night. And it's not knocking Gottlieb and his team, but that's not good basketball.
Okay. I'll give you the last 6 Daytona 500s.
Okay.
$7.33 million in 2020. It was before COVID. It was pushed back to Monday. Rain delay, very late finish in 21, under $5 million. However, 22 and 23, 8.9, 8.2 million.
Okay.
24, Monday, 6 million. Last year, 6.75 million.
So isn't 8 the number?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they need to get a 22, 23 rating. They need to get back to 8. They certainly need to beat last year's 6.75. Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see if they get to 8.
It's that time again, nearing the end, but not quite there yet. Here's Mark Miller with Today Was the Day When.
1861, we start. Lincoln declared president. 1866, Jesse James robs his first bank. Stole 15 grand from the Clay County Savings Association in Liberty, Missouri. 15 grand, 1866. Seems like a good take.
I agree.
Today in 1937, the Boston Redskins receive approval from the NFL to move to Washington, D.C. and share Griffith Stadium with the Senators of the American League. Today in 67, Capitol Records releases what they called a double A-side single. It was the Beatles, of course, Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields. Raj, I'll go to you. If you had to pick the A-side out of Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields, which would you go with?
I'd go with Strawberry Fields for the accessibility.
I'm with you. 1970, Black Sabbath released their self-titled debut album, which, not by coincidence, also came out on a Friday, the 13th. 1976, Dorothy Hamill at 19 wins the free skate to clinch the gold medal in Innsbruck.
The
Hamill.
And then the haircut. Oh, my goodness, the haircut.
There are so many great memes out there of girls that were stuck with that hairdo in the late 70s. And blaming their mothers for doing the Dorothy Hamill cut.
Oh, yeah.
Horrible. We jumped 20 years, 96. Tupac released All Eyes on Me, the final release during his lifetime. Today in 2000, the last original Peanuts comic strip appears one day after Charles Schultz died. That's how you go out, David. Didn't the writer you like so much,
Sid Hartman?
Yeah.
Died late on a Friday, early Saturday, and they printed his last column in the Sunday Star Trib. Yep. He had finished it. He had submitted it, and then he died.
4 years ago today, Super Bowl 56 at SoFi. Great game. Rams beat the Bengals 23-20. Cooper Kupp, your MVP. Pretty solid halftime. Kendrick Lamar brought out Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, and 50 Cent. Patty Berg, Eddie Robinson, Chuck Yeager, Jerry Springer, and maybe for David more than anybody else, Sal Bando would have all celebrated birthdays today.
Oh, I liked Sal Bando. I
did too.
With
I
both
did
the
too.
A's and the Brewers. He was on that Brewers team that went to the World Series in '82. I got one thing for you.
I'm
By
not
the
done
way,
yet. I'm not done yet. I've got birthdays to go. Can you slow down?
Jeez, man.
Stockard Channing, Rizzo, right? Rizzo from Greece. She's 82. Krzyzewski's 79. Singer Peter Gabriel, 76. Henry Rollins, who hates everything and everybody, 65. Matt Sundin is 55. Randy Moss, 49 years old today. And Jaden Ivey is 24, the former Piston, just dealt. Now, David, what did I miss?
I'm sorry, Mark. That's on me. I jumped the gun there. I only got one thing for you. It's a big day in World War II today. All right? Because we bombed out of the most beautiful city in Germany, Dresden, and we made it rubble.
Yeah, I did see that.
So the Allies at Yalta, they decided they're going after the manufacturing cities. Dresden didn't make a thing, okay? They basically were like, yeah, we'll go after all the manufacturing. And then this city right here is beautiful. This will break their hearts, okay? Rubble, make it rubble. And it's, never returned to what it was. It was today in 45.
Time to see life a little bit differently. Here's Mark Miller with the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got, Mark?
So we go across the pond for the good, where Brenda Ogden was walking on the shore. She was knocked over by a wave back in April. And, well, she had just gotten a brand new prosthetic leg, and it was swept to sea. They found it. 10 months later, it washed up on a beach 14 miles away from where her titanium leg was swept to sea. It cost her more than $2,700, so she's got her leg back.
It's always nice to have your leg back.
It really is. For the bad, we go to New Zealand, where a lot of items were getting stolen from a school. Towels, shoes, and underwear. And they kept disappearing while the pool was in use. Security cameras apprehended the thief. It was a cat. The cat was picked up on security cams dragging a towel out of the pool area, and it turned out that they had a literal cat burglar. Finally, the ugly. We come back closer to home in Lee County, where Jenny Fales is 34 years old and was arrested on State Road 82 and I-75, accused of DUI. She had not pulled over despite attempts to stop her, running stoplights and red lights until troopers had to perform a pit maneuver on her to halt the vehicle. Well, when she was arrested, she told the troopers, just let me go. Let's go chill. Get a hamburger and fries. Didn't work. And that is the good, the bad, and the ugly on today, February the 13th, Friday the 13th. And it's brought to you by the Cape Coral Police Department. Cape Coral Police Department hiring new officers, offering great pay, great benefits, overtime opportunities aplenty. Other jobs available as well. For all information, go to capecops.com. That's capecops.com.
Okay. I don't want to be negative. I'm just going to sell it. Not hard, just a little bit. And you guys tell me if you're interested. Folks listening, tell me if you're interested. So do you know what the NBA All-Star games are Sunday?
No, I don't care.
Okay. 4 12-minute games starting at 5 o'clock. Supposed to be over by 8 or 9. It's on NBC. I mean, they're going to stop.
Wait a minute. 4 12-minute games and they need 4 hours for it?
Well, that's just
okay. Just asking.
Game 1. There are 3 teams of 8 players, I believe. 3 teams of 8. There's the younger USA team. There's the older USA team. And then there's the world team. So you got 24 players, which is what you normally have. 3 teams of 8. They're going to each play a quarter. Game 1, the young U.S. team against the world team. Game 2, the winner of that game against the old U.S. team. Game 3, the loser of game 1 against the younger USA team, I believe. Then game 4, top 2 teams based on records. If they're all 1-1, we go to a point differential. They play for the championship. The young team is Scotty Barnes, Devin Booker, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duran, Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Johnson, Tyrese Maxey. The older U.S. team, Jaylen Brown, which is hysterical because I think he's 26, Jalen Brunson, KD, Brandon Ingram, LeBron, Kawhi, Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox. The world team is Denny Avdija, Luka, Jokic, Jamal Murray, the kid from the Rockets, Alperen Sengun, Pascal Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns, Wemby, Norman Powell. Does this interest you at all?
No.
Rod?
Not in the least bit.
Not really. No.
Okay. So there it is.
And Rod's the college hoop guy, probably his favorite sport, right, Raj?
Yep.
Probably. Yeah.
So the thought process is, since it's just quarters, they'll play hard because it's just a quarter. Because it's just a quarter. And at most, you're going to play 3 games as a team, i.e., 3 quarters. So that's what they're selling on NBC. And it's not like NBC's not hyping it with, the Olympics. That's also a lead-in. So if this doesn't rate, cancel the damn thing. Just cancel.
Or just give the people what they want. U.S. versus the world.
Well, then, okay, we could do that. So then obviously we got Pebble, which is on CBS. We got the Daytona 500, 2:30 Sunday on Fox. And we got a lot of college hoop.
Seniors are in Naples.
That's right.
But Dub, by the way, early leaderboard, our guy, George McNeil's in the lead with Miguel and Jimenez. They're both 2 under early in round. This is huge for George McNeil. This is so big. They don't just give status anymore. This guy won $11-12 million on tour and won 2 tournaments and has no status on the senior tour. This would be huge for George.
So it's George and the mechanic right now?
Tied for the lead at 2 under. Early going. They're just getting underway. A lot of fog this morning in Southwest Florida.
This gives me an opportunity, however, to say for the first time this year, Miguel Angel Jimenez.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy the Olympics, the basketball, the college hoop, some system plays tonight. We'll update you on everything Monday morning. Sparty on the road, they're a favorite. The Billikens on the road, they're a favorite. We'll see what happens.
Undefeated Miami of Ohio in action tonight. Get ready, Southwest Florida. The Southwest Florida Ag Expo is back. Now's the time to save big with the Mega Pass, your all-in-one ticket to the fun, one low price. Get your one-day admission and unlimited midway rides. Mega Passes available online through February 26th at swflagexpo.com. Don't wait. Grab yours. Get ready for roots, rides, and real fun. Lee County, building a better community through business, sports, and tourism.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online